Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Sam's Town 300. This is the third of the 25 races which make up Bubbles Cup, the champion of which will take home a trophy at the end of the season. Big news coming into this weekend as all drivers with an IndyCar license have been barred from starting in the NASCAR race. So this leaves the points as you see them here, with Karinga still in the championship lead, but now the next active driver is down in 5th, 31 points behind. That's Lewis. Spring is the only other active NASCAR driver who competed in both of the first two races, so there is now a big expectation on these drivers to deliver after the dominant IndyCar drivers have moved aside. Alrighty, I'm your host AJJF, and I am joined today by the man himself, Fearless. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, Agent.
So, what's your opinions on this barring of the IndyCar drivers and just making this an exclusive series?
I think that that's one of the right steps towards making this league a better racing product, because you have drivers of different skills with different like racing experiences going at it, and it just kind of clashes together. And it's probably why it's been mostly a wreck fest the last two races. So,
I agree with you there, and so one very exciting outcome as a result of the IndyCar driver ban means that we've been able to expand our team on Plato's Apex Network. So joining us down on pit lane will be Kimmy and Corey Wilson. And let's see here. I think Kimmy might have some news for us about what was happening in qualifying.
Yeah, so basically the number 24 car backed it into the wall in qualifying, so he has to start at the back of the field. Pretty unfortunate for him and his team. He was experiencing some pretty issues during the qualifying, and he was backed it into the wall. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what he can do from the backs. But I want to take it over to Corey. I want to see what he thinks about the strategy for today's race.
Well, I was able to get good word on some of the drivers. Strategy's looking pretty close to each other. We got two 5-stoppers, but we got 5 30-lap stops, going 30 laps each in between, and then we have a 40-lap stop, which you can make into a 4-pit stop race. But it's gonna be cool to see how these drivers, split that time loss in between, getting the right strategy down without losing all that time on the track. But, back to Agent and Fearless up on the field.
Absolutely. Strategy will play a big role in this race here today. And then finally bringing us onboards replays will be Ford and Brown. Big shout out to all of them. And also Spring, who makes our points graphic, one of the racers here today. So very much appreciated all the work they do for us here on Plato's Apex Network. And Fearless, did you have any thoughts about the strategy for today's race and what we might see?
Yeah, I think the strategy will be very interesting. I mean, the tire wear is probably being very challenging for some of these drivers. I would expect some people to probably try to maybe do 1-4 pit stop. Maybe ones will try to shorten it down to a little less, but it should be very interesting to see how the tire wear comes into play here at Las Vegas. So,
absolutely. So I would like to remind everyone that coverage of the Bubbles Cup on Plato's Apex Network is brought to you by Builderbrain, the cutting-edge AI study tool. So head over to builderbrain.ai to ace your classes and win back your weekend. And I think we're going to be ready for the green flag here in a little bit after a word from our sponsor. Alrighty, and with that, we are back here on the track and getting ready to take the green flag here soon. We're actually not seeing the 24 car right now. That might be the driver back out there behind. He was going to start in last, but the 24 car is not currently in his car. And that team did have to work overtime to try to get that fixed up. Get that car fixed up. There was pretty extensive damage to the rear of that car. So they were trying to fix that car before the race. And a side note from that is you may have noticed a change of cars here. We have switched from the Nationwide Series to some Car of Tomorrow Sprint Cup cars. And the main reason for this edition is that these cars do have damage now, and there are no resets given. So if a driver crashes and gets front end damage, they will be out of this race. And that will be a rough points day for them. So
so excuse me for a second, but I would
All
like
good.
to note on what the issue is with the 24 car team, and Vaughn, the driver of the 24, has might have gotten banned off of Roblox, so they're trying to get his alt account into the game right now.
Oh. So they are trying to work through that. And we are going to be waiting here for a moment so that the 24 driver can get back. Or we have started pacing here, so the drivers are going to be getting ready to take the green flag here soon.
Update on the situation. They're gonna since Vaughn's having complications getting that second account in, they're just gonna let him rejoin the race once he figures it all out. So we're pacing here. Green next time.
That's the word from the official. You can see it on the top right of your screen. Green next time. We'll quickly go over the starting lineup. In first place is Among Us. He qualified on the pole. After not making it to the last race, he will be starting on the front row and on pole position. So looking further back, I thought the number 6 car was next, but I suppose I was wrong, as behind him is actually Karinga and the number 66 car. And that car will start on the outside of the first row, and Fearless should have us with our second row here.
Yeah, so we have Aiden in the number 6 Ford Fusion taking up spot number 3 on the grid, and right behind him we have DJ in the number 28 Ford Fusion Petronas car.
Alrighty, and for the third row, it will be Sint on the inside of the number 33 machine. On the outside of him will be Spring, and there's just one more row behind them.
Yeah, that would be the 5 car that would be Lewis driving that 5 machine, and then to take up the last spot on the grid until Vaughn rejoins, that is the 77 of Dominic.
Alrighty, and as Fearless mentioned, we do expect Vaughn to be able to rejoin later, but he will be at the back. He would have been the only car back there on the 5th row of the grid. So we've got 9 drivers that qualified here today. One of them is missing, but he should be able to make it onto the track. So 8 cars starting the race. We expect the 9th to come back, and we get the word from race control. It will be green flag this time. So the drivers will go double file off of turn 4, and we will see the green flag here for the Sam's Town 300 at Las Vegas.
You know, since we have some time, I'd like to ask you, Agent, do you have any picks for this race? Ones to watch?
Oh, I think Karinga is always one to watch very fast. I saw some practice times being put up, and also Aiden had gotten really fast. Same with Among Us. So your top 3 here. I know I just took like the whole top 3, but they're all very strong picks.
Yeah, all 3 of them are very strong. I'm going to go with Aiden in the number 6 machine. He was looking very strong over the course of the week in practice and run around with some of us guys on the track, just open. So here we go.
Getting doubled up, ready to take the green flag as the drivers are pacing double file. And green flag is out here at Las Vegas for the Sam's Town 300. As they come around to complete lap 1, it's still Among Us in front. You saw the message from race control there. I believe that was Sint, who had a restart violation and will have to serve a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, that would be correct. Sent did get that violation, but here we go. Look at this. That'd be DJ already up to second, and Karinga going on the inside of Aiden up to third. They've started to single out already, as Among Us has actually gapped the field already. Probably the fastest car on the track, I would assume, because of this, but already singled out. Take it away, Agent.
Absolutely. We'll see. That is DJ, who has moved up a couple of spots here right away. Got past Aiden, got past Karinga. He started in 4th. He's already up to 2nd. The question will be, now that he's cleared those 2 cars, is can he catch up to Among Us, who is setting the pace here early?
Yeah, that's actually, that may be doable. I noticed his corner, and he was like 185 on exit. That's very good for fresh tires. But Karinga on the inside is not going to make it easy. But it looks like they're actually starting to close, and I feel like Among Us might have made a mistake or something, because it looks like they've closed in quite a bit. Yeah, they have. It was about a 10th he gained that lap. If they keep that up, they'll be there in no time.
Absolutely. If you look ahead of the leader now, crucially for Sint, he was able to serve his drive-through early and get out in front of the leader. So he will try to stay out in front and not go a lap down, although he's actually slow on the apron. I'm not sure what's happening.
I don't know what's happening there. I mean, he might actually be serving that drive-through right now, or he's going to the... I think he's going to the back, actually. Yeah, he is. He's just going to yield. I think Bubble might have said something. I don't know, but... Other than that, we have DJ still closing in on Among Us here for the lead. As he started to gap now, we have Aiden in 4th ahead of Spring. And Karinga still actually is going to close in to DJ. Karinga might have a charge here in 3 and 4. We'll see what he can do.
Karinga's entering a little bit higher there into turn 3 than DJ in the 28 car. But it's a good exit for both. Karinga was very close to the wall. They're both
probably the best you can do right there.
Yeah, that's pretty perfect. Very precise from Karinga on the exit there. That's how you carry the most speed. But you've got to think running that aggressively early on could wear down your tires quicker than leaving a little bit of margin there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You just gotta probably, if you're thinking from Among Us with that gap you got on the start, you probably might be saving some tires right now. Let's see what this telemetry, and yeah, he is starting to save some tires. He's lifting off and getting like 180 exit, while the rest of them are getting like 181, 182, maybe 183. And now because of that, DJ is actually going to close in on Among Us. And it's about a car length now between the 2 of them for the lead.
Top 3 have really bunched up here. As you mentioned, Among Us isn't using the full track width. He's carrying a little bit less minimum speed through the apex of the corner, and that allows him to save some of that rubber for later in the stint. But here's the side effect. 3 cars very close here, about to battle for the lead as Karinga goes to the inside for second.
And there goes Karinga to the inside of DJ. And he's actually going to get a big run on Among Us too into 1 and 2. Karinga is clear of DJ for second. Oh, let's see. Karinga to the I lane. DJ is going to go a little lower. I don't know if DJ yet. DJ is going to get a little bit of a bad exit. Let's see if Karinga is very close to the wall. He's going to have a little bit of a run. Let's see if he can make the move work. 3 and 4.
Karinga's looking for the move on the high side. As we mentioned, Among Us not using as much track, and he's going to get a good exit. He's going to look to the inside on the exit of turn 4 here.
Yeah, that's Karinga to the inside of Among Us for the lead. On the front stretch, Karinga using all the racetrack. Down to the apron he goes, and it looks like he is clear for the lead.
Good move there from Karinga to take the lead away from Among Us. who was staying close behind in second, and crucially for Karinga, he was able to get Among Us between him and DJ. So Karinga will have a bit of safety there, knowing DJ was a little bit faster than Among Us, and you probably have a slower car between him and your next fastest competitor.
Yeah, very good of Karinga to get by Among Us as quickly as possible. As he actually hit the wall there, I'd see if Among Us can make a move actually now on the inside. Karinga hit the wall. Big mistake out of Karinga.
He goes defensive into turn 1. It's kind of odd to see something that early. Just lap 10 out of 200 here. So a very long race, but Karinga already feels the need to defend, as there was a little bit of a bump in 1 and 2, and Among Us is to the inside here, side by side into turn 3.
Yeah, Among Us now on the inside. Karinga on the outside. Who's going to carry the momentum off of the corner? I think Karinga has a little bit of a run. If he can make this stick, he might actually clear Among Us. And he did make it stick. He's going to have a run on the front stretch. Good defense by Karinga on the outside. He's clear of Among Us. And here comes DJ for a second. He bumps him a little bit.
That side-by-side running was allowing DJ to catch back up through 3 and 4. They ran side-by-side through the entirety of 3 and 4, and DJ caught up a ton as Karinga's in the wall.
Karinga's in the wall again. Here comes Among Us on the inside. I think he's going to clear him into 3 and 4. Yes, he is. We have another new leader on the racetrack. That is Among Us in the number 7.
So after the first 8 laps, they've started jockeying for the lead, and I'm going to look back to the 4th place car. I believe that's Aiden back there. He's going to be looking to close in if they keep fighting too much.
Yeah, I'd like to keep an eye on that gap. I mean, I don't quite know the exact number, but it looks like it's better than it was 5 laps ago. As Karinga is probably going to get, if he gets a good run here, he's going to go for it again. Oh, that was a good exit out of Karinga. He had to lift a little bit, but carry as much speed as he could.
Among Us is running a little bit higher here in 3 and 4. I don't think that's going to be very beneficial to his raw pace here, as still the top 3 very close here. And really the top 5 have pulled away a ton to the other cars behind.
Yeah, that would be correct. If you look at Spring, and he's about, I'd say, a couple seconds behind, and then you see the next closest competitor that would be Lewis right there. He's like another good 5 seconds behind. And of course there's Sen. I think that was the lap car who had to serve that drive-through penalty on the start for violating the restart or start of the race.
It's back up front. We're actually side by side here. We're 3 wide for the lead as DJ's looking at the inside and Karinga's clear around the top. They were 3 wide for a second off of turn 4, and now Among Us is looking back to the inside of Karinga. There's going to be contact in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's right. We have Among Us on the inside. Karinga got a little bit of a run. I think Karinga's going to clear him on the backstretch, but I want to see if Among Us can make a little bit of move down to 3 and 4. But we have DJ. Notice that DJ is right behind him. So if Among Us makes a little bit of a mistake, DJ will be right there for the taking.
I think Karinga had a better corner right there. He's going to pull away from the other 2 cars.
That would be incorrect. He just hit the wall. Among Us is going to close in significantly. He's going to be right there in the 1 and 2.
It was a better corner right up until the exit of turn 4, and now it's brought the other 2 cars right back to him. You see Among Us running higher in 1 and 2. I think you really got to hit the bottom here to extract the most pace out of this car. But as we're seeing, Karinga just keeps barely tapping that wall and scrubbing off some speed.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Karinga, oh, yeah, look at that. He just absolutely painted the white line there in 3 and 4. So he's just look at that gap now. As DJ goes to the inside for
Among Us
second,
turns
and
down.
Among Us turns down on him. That's a questionable move, but they make it work, and DJ is going to clear him probably at the start of 1. Yes, he is, but Among Us is going to do the switchback. Here comes Among Us on the inside now.
Yeah, it wasn't a fully clean switchback. You saw a little bit of contact between DJ and Among Us. That makes it almost impossible for DJ to turn into the corner. So as far as we know, DJ might have actually been turning in to hit the inside of the track there and run the inside, but Among Us turning back across his bumper basically locks his car into the middle lane. As you saw, race control give a verbal warning to Among Us there for the incident out of turn 4, I believe.
Yeah, I am not surprised by that ruling. I'm kind of surprised that Among Us would, like, turn down into DJ there on the front stretch last time, but yeah, that's just something you got to be careful of as a driver. You don't want to end up wrecking someone else on accident, as Karinga's actually pulling away now because of that incident.
we're watching Karinga. He's not hitting the bottom of the track completely, but he seems to have a much wider, a bigger arc and a wider entry. So even though he's not hitting the bottom, he may be carrying the minimum speed necessary to keep a good gap to the cars behind.
You want to keep an eye on the minimum speed. Minimum speed is a key play here at Las Vegas. I mean, Among Us was down to like 177, 180 on exit, and Karinga's already up to 183. Definitely a better exit by Karinga. Karinga continues to pull away on the backstretch, down to 3. And the gaps, they're starting to single out now. It looks like things have settled.
Oh, Karinga's in the wall.
Among Us got an even bigger wall tap. He's down to like 170.
Everyone bounced off the wall out of turn 4. So that's going to kind of keep the gaps as they were, despite big mistakes from the top 3.
I think Karinga's continuing to pull away. The gap's now about probably a second. Yeah, it's up to a full second now. Probably bigger than that because Among Us did not have a great 1 and 2. But I would like to keep an eye on Aiden. Aiden has started to close in on DJ and Among Us for that battle for P2 and P3.
Absolutely. Aiden, the number 6. Oh, he gets
a
huge
what has
bump.
happened? Aiden just went in the grass and got a bump. Managed to keep it clean, but that almost ended his race just then and there. As DJ's into the wall.
We started following Aiden right as that started to happen. Through the tri-oval, he was using a lot of the apron and hit some big bumps down there. And that's a bit of the risk with running the apron. We know there's bumps down there. You got to avoid them as he bounces off the wall of turn 4. But yeah, that was a big moment for Aiden on the exit of the tri-oval.
Yeah, so we have a nice, you're starting to get a nice single file line here. It's just a matter of pace now at this point. If you're anyone in this race, it's just things have singled out, not really any battles on the racetrack. Now it's just basically quali sim. Who has the fastest car right now? And it looks like that would be Karinga right now in that 66 machine, pulling away from Among Us.
Yeah, but it looks like it's gonna be hard to beat the pace of Karinga. Early on, it was Among Us, and then they fought for many laps, and now Karinga's out in front, and it seems like it's going to be really tough for anyone to chase him down for this stint.
DJ's in the wall again, and so is Aiden. They're struggling back there with the worn tires. I'd expect them to... speaking of worn tires, they're probably going to end up starting to pit here within the next 15 laps. 10 to 15 laps, I'd say, give or take.
Probably so. We might have... Corey might actually have more on the strategy that some of these drivers are trying. We'll see if we can't send him around, figure out exactly what's happening strategy-wise here, because we talked before the race about multiple strategies possibly being at play here, splitting up between 4 or 5 stops. As
there's a caution on the racetrack.
Oh, it's sent, and he's going to be out of the race.
Oh, Sen is out of the race. I don't know what happened. Must have spun out on his own and hit the inside wall hard, probably.
Yep, you see the damage on the front end of that car, and that will be the end of his race.
Tough break for the 33 machine. Really wasn't having a good run all day, and then that just on the cherry on top. Not what you want to see.
Definitely not. So it was already looking rough for Sent. He was the next car that had fallen way back, and he is going to be out of this race.
And they're starting, pits are open here. Notice the pits are open. They've cleared the racetrack and everyone's here, so pits are open. Take it away, guys.
Pickering is the first car coming down on pit road. DJ follows him behind Aiden Spring. Lewis and Dominic all follow in behind Karinga. Kimmy?
Yeah, so earlier, before I came back up into the stage right here, and they were complaining about, like, especially Karinga was complaining about a tire disadvantage, because they were about around like 70% worn tires. So now with this caution, everybody's gonna get reset here. As we see Spring, DJ come off the road, Karinga's gonna get a really good stop on his pit box, but this is now a good chance for everybody to get some fresh tires reset, since I think most of the field came down pit road. But yeah, there comes Karinga down. And he's going to win up the race off pit road.
Yeah, so after that race off pit road, it looks like we have Karinga winning the race off pit road and Spring right behind him. Notice the DJ did get a good stop. And I would like to note that Dominic got a speeding violation down pit road. So even though if he doesn't really matter since he's already back, but he is to the back.
Alrighty, so a nice race off pit road. Karinga pulls away once again. However, up front will be Among Us, as he did not come into the pits that time. So Among Us will stay out on slightly older tires here, and the rest of the field is on new tires. And that's a pretty rough spot to be in, to be the only car that stayed out.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to why he would stay out there, because now he's just going to get passed by everyone. New tires are so much better at this racetrack, and you could tell considering people were hitting the wall left and right and center on the late stages of that run. So curious to see what he's going to be able to do with those older tires, as off of turn 4 we're going to be coming to the restart zone for the green flag.
And there it is, green flag is out. We are underway once again here at Las Vegas, and there's a bit of a lock up front, and Karinga's going to get a run to the outside.
Yeah, there he is. Karinga to the outside of Among Us, down to 1 and 2. This is going to be a good gauge to see how Among Us's tires pan out compared to the rest of the field, as it looks like Karinga's going to make a good move to the outside. Yeah, he got a massive run on the outside, and Aiden's to the inside of Spring now for third. And notice that Karinga's already clear for the lead.
Oh,
and Among Us just washed up.
A rough corner for Among Us. He's going to lose second spot to Aiden, and he's got 2 cars hounding him for the third spot now. That is DJ and Spring, both looking to make a jump on Among Us early here, who I think might have blundered on the strategy by not pitting that time. As there's contact behind. DJ got into Spring.
Aiden's in the wall. Among Us on the inside. Looks like Among Us is going to be back to second with that move. Looks like that was probably a mistake on Among Us's end there, putting him in the wall kind of there. But Spring's now looking inside in this battle. And, oh no, he's just been walled. Among Us in the wall now.
That might have been a bit of payback for a while. Oh, and Karinga's spinning at the front stretch.
Oh, Karinga's spinning from the lead. What the heck? We got a multi-car crash. That's a big pile up
Caution
right
is
there.
out. Oh, and that's 2 cars
Karinga's
out.
out of the race.
2 cars are out of the race.
No.
It's Lewis and Karinga.
What happened there?
We saw it on our picture. Karinga and Lewis were spinning into turn 1. They couldn't get off of each other. And then their front ends, they met nose to nose, and that caused damage for both cars. And both of these cars are going to be out of the race.
In a shocking turn of events, probably the most dominant car of the race thus far, and Karinga is now out of it. I don't know how he managed to spin out from the lead, but he did, and he's now out of it, including Lewis.
And just a reminder what this does for the points. That was the top 2 in the active drivers that were in the points. So both of these drivers out of the race. The door has swung wide open for Spring to take the championship lead if he can stay out of trouble the rest of today.
I just want to take a count, and it looks like we have 5 cars left in this race because of that incident. That's insane. Just like that, the field has essentially been whittled down in half because those 2 incidents took out a total of 3 cars. So now we're down from 8 cars to 5, and Aiden is your leader here at Las Vegas after that incident.
We saw a caution-filled race at Auto Club, Measures were taken by the sanctioning body in order to try to reduce what we saw at Auto Club. Introducing damage and DNFs was one of them, and I think this is going to be a big sign to the rest of these drivers and for the rest of the season about what could happen to you if you get damage or if you cause a caution or in a crash. That'll be it for your race.
Yep, that's just so sudden for that to happen, and all of a sudden you have the two best cars all day already out of the race in lap 29 of 200 as pits are open. I'm curious to see if anyone's going to come down pit road, and it looks like the entire field is. Take it away, guys.
All right, as you see, the whole field has came down pit road. First I want to say pretty unfortunate for Karinga and Lewis there. They were both having a great, especially Karinga, he was having a great race. They both have been released from the infield care center, so they're pretty all right from their big wreck. But man, what a shocking turn of events as Karinga and Lewis are both out of the race. But that gives the field a bit of a cool down now. Now everybody knows that they have a chance to win and see what they can do off this pit stop. Everybody's going to reset, get new fresh tires. Everybody's going to be on the equal playing field. As here they come, spraying off pit road. Can he be Aiden off the pit road? Let's see if he can do it. Oh, wow, look at that. Aiden is probably going to get off first. And how about that? Aiden is off pit road first. There you go.
Alrighty, Aiden comes off the pit road first. We should see green this time, but I think we will have time quickly for a replay here as we look to see what happened during that caution, which took out two cars, both Karinga and Lewis. You see Karinga gets loose on the bumps there with the same bumps that was hit by Aiden earlier. Then Lewis makes contact. He tries to avoid him, then nose-to-nose contact gives them both damage. Look at Among Us. Among Us spun out, but he actually saved it, and that's the only reason he's still in the race. As we are going to come back to the track here, I think we are about to take the green flag. Yep, pacing into turn 3. But you saw what happened there. A wonderful save by Among Us. That's the only reason he's still in the race. And actually, we get an announcement green will happen next time.
So they're probably still trying to clean up the track after that big incident happened. So we will be green next time.
And I think we might have word for one of the drivers that was involved in that crash. I think Kimmy has joined them right out of the infield care center here.
Alright, so my bad. Alright, here we go. So Karinga, I want to know what your thoughts about on that incident before you wrecked out in the race. So are you alright, and how does it affect you? Not
I'm fine. You know, got checks in the infield. Thankfully, no injuries because it was a pretty big hit both times. But it's unfortunate, but it was the consequence that I was risking. Just didn't expect it to just come that way. Just wasn't expecting to get caught off guard like that by the bumps on the apron, which is very unfortunate because I had a really good race going, had a lot of pace, led a lot of laps, including that first stint. Then after the caution pulled away, but sadly didn't last too long because of that. But I'm just glad I'm okay. Unfortunate for Brian as well. Didn't want to collect them, but it's just they have nowhere to go coming into these corners. And if one person spins in front of you, there's just nowhere to go. And unfortunately for Brian and me, it was the consequence. We both got collected and we're both out. But still got next week and several more to come after this. So just hope to have a better week next week.
Alright, glad to know that you're okay, and hope you have a good race next week. Alright, Karinga?
Yep, thank you, Kimmy.
Alright.
And now we heard from Karinga, who was involved in that previous crash, the championship leader who does get damage, as we might have time here to speak with the other driver involved in the crash. I think Corey has Lewis just out of the infield care center.
Yep, here with Brian in the infield. Just got released from the infield care center. Very unfortunate for you. Looked like you had nowhere to go there. Coming into that wreck, on top lane, had nowhere to go. How do you feel right now? Very unfortunate.
Well, I mean, I feel disappointed in what has happened right now. I mean, I felt like there was nowhere to go. I mean, I was on the high lane, and like if I dropped low, then I could involved somebody else. But I mean, really unfortunate that you got collected. Felt we had a fast car coming in today. Just kind of stayed in the back for most of the race, but not the way that I wanted to finish.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Well, we look to see you next week, and good luck for you.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, and that was Lewis. So the top two in the championship involved in an incident early in this race. And as we mentioned, Spring was the only other driver who had made both of the first two races and is here today. So Spring will be looking to capitalize and take championship lead, as we did get green this time confirmation from race control, and we're about to see a restart.
Yeah, here we go. They are single file on the restart zone, and we're green. Looks like Among Us didn't get a good start, and DJ's already to the inside of Dominic for fourth place. And that they're actually going to go 3 wide into turn 1, but Dominic backs out. It looks like Aiden got a very good 1 and 2, so he'll hold on to the race lead as DJ is on the inside of Among Us, and he almost puts him in the wall, and they're 3 wide, and there's more contact. I'm surprised he didn't crash right there.
Dominic backed off early into turn 1, and that actually gave him a run through turn 2. He's going to look to the inside there. Back up front, it's closing up between Aiden and Spring. Very close off of turn 4 to the wall for both of them, as Aiden will come around to lead lap 33. Begin lap 34. It's tight up front.
Yeah, that is correct. It looks like Spring's going to get a later apex, so he'll have a bigger run off the corner, and he's going to take that and go to the inside of Aiden off of turn 2 for the lead. Aiden got a bigger run, though, and it's not going to work out just quite, as they've started to single out a little bit further in the pack, but Spring still looking for that lead.
Both of these drivers hitting the bottom pretty well in 3 and 4. We'll see if Spring can't get some kind of a run. It's very close between the top two. It's hard to see much of a difference in their pace in these first couple laps after the restart. So it might come down to who can preserve their tires, although as I say that, Aiden misses the bottom, and Spring's going to have another chance down the back straightaway.
Yeah, here he goes. He got a little bit of he definitely got to the inside, and it looks like he's going to have a little bit of a charge here, especially if Aiden somehow misses the bottom again. Oh, never mind. Spring actually missed the bottom that time. Let's see if he gets a little bit of a run, though, off the corner on Aiden. Looks like he will be able to get a little bit of a run on the front straightaway. Doesn't use the apron. He's paranoid because of what happened to Karinga last restart as they dive into turn 1.
And word from race control, apron has been banned, so people can no longer run the apron on the front straightaway due to the concern with the bumps, I believe. So the drivers will be forced to stay up above that white line the whole way around the track now. It was enforced in the back straightaway, I think. Or actually, it is not enforced on the back straightaway. Now it is only enforced on the front straightaway. So drivers will no longer be going down on the apron, and that can complicate the racing, as we're seeing here up front. Spring with less places to go as he gets a run on Aiden, and now he's going to the inside through turn 2.
And here he goes. He has to lift. He couldn't really move him up there. He just wanted to move him up, and he had to lift. Aiden clears it back on the outside. Probably lifted a little too much for Spring. Now Aiden's going to pull away, as I take a look and see if Among Us could actually catch up to Spring now because of that mistake. And DJ is right behind Among Us, and Spring had to lift off again. Watch Among Us here for second. Here we go on the front stretch. Among Us goes to the outside.
Side by side into turn 1. I think Among Us is going to have the spot. He's going to try to turn in and clear him at the apex. He does leave room on the inside, actually. Spring's going to keep it there, but Among Us has the run off the high line. He takes away second spot and will set his sights onto Aiden out in front.
Yeah, that is Among Us there who just got second place. And now Aiden trying to pull away while Among Us trying to close in, as Spring had to lift again. DJ is going to go for third now. He's on the outside as well.
It's DJ in the number 28 car. He's looking to the outside. A similar place we saw Among Us last lap, as there's actually contact between these two. I think DJ had to lift a little bit. He couldn't quite turn in the way Among Us could. So they're going to stay side by side as they go down the back straightaway, but DJ will clear into turn 3.
Yeah, what I've noticed about Spring's driving style is he's lifting while side by side. He's losing all of his speed in the middle of the corner, and that's hindering him greatly. As you've noticed, he's dropped down like a rock, and he's all the way down to 4th now out of 5 cars left in this race.
So Spring, with a rough restart there, drops down to 4th after exiting the pits in 2nd and fighting for the lead for a couple laps. We are going to turn our attention to the front, as it's still Aiden out in front of Among Us, but I think Among Us is starting to make a charge towards the front.
Yeah, that would be correct. I think Among Us is starting to close in, especially since he got an amazing exit. It looks like he's going to have a little bit of a run on Aiden down the front stretch. And we'll see what he's going to be able to do in 1 and see if he can continue to close in like he's able to do. And it looks like Among Us with a better apex, a little bit of a run again. That's what you want to see if you're Among Us in the 7 machine. Just keep getting those types of corners, and if Aiden makes a mistake, he'll be there.
Aiden has a really good 3 and 4 right there, right on the bottom of the track if he keeps out of the wall, but I think he tapped it. I think he just tapped the wall for turn 4.
There's the mistake I was talking about. Here comes Among Us for the lead. Where will he go? He goes to the outside. It looks like he's going to clear him into 1. New race leader, Among Us in the 7.
Don't look too far back. Right there for 2nd place. Now it's going to be DJ on the inside of Aiden. So DJ looking to take away 2nd spot and capitalize on the fighting up front. He's going to have the inside going into turn 3. DJ looking to take the spot away. I think he's going to have it here on the exit if he wants it. And yes, he takes it. So it'll be Among Us and then DJ in a rough exit for Among Us. This might be a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, battle for the lead heating up once again. DJ is starting to close in on Among Us now. Is DJ going to try the inside? He's going to try the inside. He's going to go a little lower than Among Us and try to carry more speed off the corner. And he's going to do that, I think.
I think Among Us just tapped the wall on the outside. I don't think it cost him almost any momentum at all, but he did just tap it, so he's right on the limit. And DJ looking a little bit more controlled in the 2nd spot. I think he's having a easier time getting that car to turn into the corner, and is able to build a run on the exit.
Yeah, notice how DJ is actually getting a little bit of a later apex than Among Us, so he's able to carry more speed on exit. As you notice, Among Us goes all the way to the inside. He's going to try to carry more speed, and he's going to make a mistake, and he hits the wall. Here comes DJ. He decides to push it, and they both lose for momentum. Take a look at this. It's now going to be a 4-car blanket for the lead if this keeps up.
Look how fast the cars behind are closing. That's Aiden in the number 6 machine. Looking to the outside of DJ. Can he stay there? No, he can't. But now look at it. There's going to be push from behind. Spring with the run. He's going to the inside of Aiden. That's the battle for 3rd, and it's all happening right here at the front of the pack.
All it took, it was one mistake, and then they're all bunched up once again. And now look at this for 2nd. Spring looks to the inside. Not going to get there, but I'm curious to see if he's going to have a little bit of a run. Doesn't look like he will, but they're all 3 cars right under a blanket for 2nd as Among Us continues to pull away after that mistake from DJ.
Here comes Spring. Aiden behind. He's going to give him a bump. They're all bumping. But it's actually going to give it. Yeah, it's going to give a great exit to DJ because of the bump in the middle of turn 3 and 4. I wonder if DJ backed up the corner a little bit on purpose to get a good bump there from Spring.
Probably did there, because I mean, look at this. Now they've gapped themselves a little bit, gives a little bit of comfort for the drivers. Oh my goodness, it was so close for Aiden. I think he lost some momentum there off of turn 2, had to lift because he was this close to hitting the wall. But they've started to file out again.
And Among Us is running really high ahead of them. I think it's going to allow DJ to catch up.
It looks like DJ got a very good exit off of turn 4. Now, yeah, look at this now. Magically, Among Us and DJ have pulled a gap on Spring and Aiden. as DJ got a little bit of a later apex. I'm curious if this sticks. Oh, Among Us is in the wall again. Here comes DJ.
About to have another battle for the lead. If they get tangled up again, the next 2 cars behind could catch right back up. As was a
Only so many
mistake.
times you can make that mistake, though.
Yep.
I mean, Among Us probably wouldn't expect to see that from him again, considering he wants to keep this lead. If DJ's looking for it right behind him, or maybe the pressure will get to Among Us, as that was basically. Oh, hold up, he's gonna go wide, and they're both in the wall. They're both in the wall. Here comes Spring and Aiden again. They're gonna get a huge run on both of them again. But DJ going for the lead now on Among Us. He's gonna look to the inside. Here we go.
Among Us barely leaving enough space on the inside as he's going to keep that lead. But again, the huge run from the cars behind as we might see 3-wide action here in a second. Aiden to the outside of Spring. They're both catching up to DJ very quickly.
Oh, DJ got an amazing entry to 1 and 2. And if he carries that speed, oh, Among Us is in the wall again. Here comes DJ for real this time. To the inside for the lead.
Side by side into turn 3. Nope, it's DJ's. He takes the lead and is clear before they even enter the corner. But now Among Us is coming right back at him. Through 4. DJ actually keeps the run, is going to stay ahead as the cars behind are fighting for 3rd.
Yeah, Aiden and Spring side by side for 3rd as Among Us is fading now. With DJ gapping the rest of the field, and Aiden has the preferred line into 1 and 2, and Spring is going to let him by. Curious to see if he can make the crossover work. Not quite. Gives a little bit of a bump to Aiden as I think DJ hit the wall, or either Among Us had a great corner as Among Us is right there now, and he's going to the inside for the lead.
Among Us to the inside of DJ. It's going to be tied on exit. Among Us has to lift out of it. DJ's going to get a run as they come down.
Oh, look at Aiden. Aiden got an amazing 3 and 4. They're just going to make it 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Aiden. Spring right behind him.
And Aiden's going to take it all the way to the front. Can he clear DJ and make an amazing move for the lead? I think DJ's just going to stay there on the exit of 2. It's very tight. Aiden leaves him the space.
Looks like DJ's going to have the advantage into 3 and 4 with that run. Aiden's still going to be there on entry. Oh,
a
it gets
rough
the apron.
entry. Yep.
That's a rough entry from Aiden. DJ's going to clear him. As Spring hits the wall behind, he's going to fade now. Very unfortunate for Spring to make that mistake right there.
We saw Aiden kind of just habitually go onto the apron there. He's going to want to avoid that if he doesn't want to get under the scrutiny of race control, as they sent a message out earlier to the entire team, all the drivers, all the teams, that the apron is now banned from running, and Aiden is going to lose this spot to Among Us side by side through 3 and 4. Among Us has the better rotation, but Aiden's actually staying alongside as Spring hits the wall once again behind.
Yeah, they're still side by side now for 2nd. Aiden has the advantage now in a 1 and 2. Who's going to carry more speed? Oh, Aiden's right there on the white line. Doesn't quite hit the apron. And they're going to wash each other up the track. Very close between the two. Among Us almost into the wall. But they're going to make it stick. But Among Us clears it because Aiden had to lift.
Oh, but Among Us is wide in the entry, and now Aiden's going to get back to the inside. But Among Us is going to keep that spot, carrying the momentum to 3 and 4. It's Among Us out in front of Aiden for 2nd place.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Among Us starts to pull away and move his eyes over to DJ for the lead. As we are now on lap 54 of 200 here at Las Vegas.
So DJ out in front. We're going to see what the gap is this time. Is Among Us able to catch up at all? I've seen Among Us run a little bit higher. He's still doing it here. Waiting to see the gap as they cross the line. It's about 1.2 seconds.
I'd say Among Us actually closed in a little bit on that lap, so keep your eyes on that. It's very, very slight though, so unless you see a mistake from DJ, it's going to take a while for Among Us to close in if he keeps that pace up.
Well, Well, he's got plenty of time. We'll see if we can't send down Corey to find out when these drivers are thinking about pitting next time. As it's really going to become a pit crew battle here as we get closer to thinking about green flag pit stops and what the strategy is going to be for the rest of the race.
It's going to be very interesting to see what some of these drivers are going to try. They may try to pit a little earlier. Some may try to pit later and try to shorten the stop count for the race. Because at this point, it looks like it's going to be a strategy race from here on out. Everyone's kind of settled in with their track position. Nobody's really close to each other. So, we'll see.
It has definitely settled in. I think Among Us is catching up pretty quickly now to DJ. The ticker reads just 3/4 of a second back. Before it was about 1.2, so he's gained almost 5/10. And he's definitely catching up to the car out front, the 28 car of DJ. So we might see a battle for the lead here before we start thinking about pit stops.
Yeah, it looks like Among Us is definitely the faster car right now between the two of them. I mean, look at his exit speed, around 182. And especially if DJ keeps making mistakes, as some people in chat are mentioning that DJ hit the wall there on the last time around on the backstretch. So that's probably where all of that happened. But while this is how actually Among Us just hit the wall, so DJ's going to pull away a little bit. And with that in mind, we're going to bring up Corey Wilson with some strategy here.
Down on the pit lane, talk with some of the pit crew chiefs. Driver strategies that they're right at that 70% mark right now. Caution was a little while away, but you see DJ in the lead right now, Among Us following in behind. These guys, there's some of the strategy was that they would just run. They would run until those tires just reach the point where they just cannot race at the speed that is optimal. So we're gonna see how this turns out. So obviously, now that we've got a green flag running now, it's going to be good to see how the strategy is going to turn out for some of these guys who could come out, get undercut, maybe try the undercut strategy or the overcut. It's going to be cool to see when these guys have to come out of it.
Absolutely. We're gonna get our stats team out there, see if we can't figure out what lap these guys are going to be coming in if they run it all the way to the end. But yeah, I expect if they're already at 70% and they run it as far as they can from here, we might only see 1 or 2 more stops to the end. Probably 2, I think.
Yeah, so we're looking now at probably 2-stop race, maybe a 3-stop race, as Among Us goes a little wide on that corner. Completely missed the inside, but notice how he's still kind of there. I mean, he lost a little bit of the gap, but he's still around that 1 second mark. So if DJ makes another mistake, Among Us will probably be there for the lead. So keep your eye on that.
I think Among Us definitely has the pace, but he's struggling to get that car to the bottom of the track. That's where the pace is. You definitely want to be right on that white line to make these cars go fast around this track. So Among Us is carrying good minimum speed, but if he can get it just that lane lower, I think he'll really start to make some gains towards the leader.
Yeah, so like Among Us is faster in 1 and 2 by like around 1 mile an hour. We're getting word from the race officials, but in reality, he just they both just hit the wall. I think off the 2. So it looks like DJ's going to continue to pull away, as Among Us probably, does miss the inside again. That's the one thing that Among Us needs to improve if he wants to try to close in on DJ for the lead.
And there it is. It's back up to over 1 second. It's 1.15 seconds now, as the top 2 have both pulled away from Aiden a little bit. He's just over 3 seconds back. And then the gap back to Spring is quite a lot. So Spring running down in 4th, way at the back of your shot, just exiting turn 2 now as the leader's entering turn 3. But Spring is gonna actually like where he's sitting right now. Not a lot of risk where he's running by himself on track. And I think at his current position, he will be looking to take the championship lead.
Yeah, that gap is. I mean, I think DJ hit the wall last time around on the backstretch, but I think DJ is better at keeping minimum speed in 3 and 4. As Among Us actually had a very, very good 1 and 2, just barely kept it off the wall. 184 on exit. Look at this.
Oh, he's had a problem in
Oh,
3.
what just happened? Oh no!
It looked like he had finally turned in to hit the bottom, and then I can't tell if he opened up the steering or what happened, but he shot up the track and had to lift a ton to keep it out of the wall.
There goes the gap now. It's probably going to be around a second and a half.
Yep, and actually back to third. Aiden has caught up about 7/10 the last 2 laps, but I think we might have a report here from Kimmy.
Yeah, so basically right now, Among Us said he was starting to save right now, so expect Among Us to maybe rile back his defense for this bit T2 right here. Most of the people right now are about around 59 tires, so we just got a new report in. Apparently Among Us is having power steering issues, so that's gonna be pretty interesting to see what's going on there. So yeah, pretty unfortunate for that number 17.
Thank you very much, Kimmy. Always giving us the best reports down there. He's reporting that Among Us having power steering issues and trying to save tires. That's not exactly the combo you want if you're looking for speed on the racetrack.
Yeah, with those power steering issues, you can see that Among Us is completely missing the inside. I mean, look at that. He missed the bottom again. Really fighting that race car now as he's going to go into the wall now. He's really starting to struggle with that race car with those power steering issues that have risen for that 7 team.
I would like to remind everyone with this current points format, it is 5 bonus points for leading a lap, and then 5 more bonus points for leading the most laps. I'm thinking right now DJ is going to be looking to take that for himself. 5 bonus points could mean quite a lot when we get down to the last few races of this championship.
Yeah, those 5 bonus points are going to be very important. It looks like if DJ hit the wall, here comes Among Us. Among Us is going to be right there at the start of 3 and 4. We're going to have a battle for the lead. Here we go.
He sends it into turn 3, but Among Us is struggling to hit the bottom. He's going to keep it off the wall, but it allows DJ to make the switchback maneuver. DJ takes the lead back and leads lap 68.
Yeah, DJ continues to lead after making a almost very costly mistake, but Among Us did not get the turn in, and DJ continues to lead here at Las Vegas. Oh, and Among Us is in the wall now. More struggles out of the 7 team and allowing DJ to pull away.
And very critically, it looked like it was in jeopardy for a second, but yes, off turn 4, DJ will lead lap 69. As you see further up ahead, Dominic will be in danger of going a lap down if this current pace continues for about the next, I'd say 20, 30 laps.
Yeah, Dominic has been struggling really hard with that car. He's been struggling really the whole run. He's been hitting the wall left, right, and center. His minimum speed has not been very good, so he's been by far the slowest car, and that shows with where he is on the track. Oh, he spins in pit road. Dominic has spun in pit road. What happened there? That's a costly mistake out of Dominic.
He is in the pits, so we will not see a caution come out for this. But yeah, that's going to completely kill Dominic's race if he doesn't get a caution to be brought back up to the rest of the pack, as he actually does go into the pits, as we're going to try to get a reporter on that.
Yeah, he saw us. Oh, go.
So we're down here on pit road. DJ actually spun coming on the pit road. The pit entry is very slippery, so the other driver's gonna have to be mindful of that. With the addition of DJ coming down the pit road, we might see other drivers starting to come down pit road, because I've gotten reports that the drivers are saying that the tires are starting to get really bad out there, especially with Among Us and his power steering issues. Could lead to some pretty interesting things happening on the racetrack pretty soon. So.
You're exactly right, Kimmy, as Among Us is closed right up to the back of DJ. We saw Dominic exit out back there. Well, we know he spun onto pit road. We'll try to see if Corey can tell us if it was a planned pit stop or not, if he just ended up spinning and ended up going down pit road. We're not exactly sure which yet. But back up front, Among Us has just taken the lead away from DJ and is now the leader of this race here on lap 73.
Yeah, and we missed the move, it looks like, but Among Us in 3 and 4 got to the inside, bumped up DJ a little bit in 3 and 4, then DJ went into the wall as a result. Gave him the room, it's just DJ went into the wall, and Among Us is in the lead now.
So Among Us, he said he was saving, and they're thinking about pit stop soon, but Among Us is still able to capitalize off of the mistakes of DJ, and it just shows how costly it can be if you run a little bit wide, hit the wall here. As further back, it'll actually be interesting to keep an eye on Dominic. He hasn't been very fast outright today, but look at how much more speed he can carry through the corner from new tires. And that's going to be a perfect example of just how much time you lose.
He spun him! Aiden just lost a ton of speed right there. Dominic got into him off of turn 2, and it spun him around, hit the outside wall. Thankfully, no damage, but that's a costly mistake.
And if I'm Aiden, I would just let him by here. Dominic is a slower car, but he's on fresher tires. He's going to be faster than you. So
DJ is back to the lead. You missed it. DJ is back to the lead on the front stretch.
Oh, and a beautiful exit. As you look further back, Dominic does get that spot away. He is a lap down, but it's crucial to see the difference in tire wear, as DJ with a beautiful exit off of turn 2 is going to start to gap Among Us, who again is still kind of running middle of the track here.
Yeah, Among Us continuing to struggle with the power steering, still missing the inside lane, but does keep up the minimum speed of 1 and 2. Not so much in 3 and 4, but he can still compete for the lead if he hits those corners right, just like he did right there in 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think that 7 car probably has more outright pace, and it was shown he put it on the pole, but here in the race having some issues, and now it looks like he's going to struggle and have to fight to be able to capture a win here today.
Yeah, so we've started the battle of the lead has kind of simmered down now, with DJ out in front by about I'd say around 9/10 of a second. But keep your eye on Among Us. He just hit the wall, I think, a little bit there. Yeah, he lost some of his speed, so the gap is going to grow a little bit there. But just keep your eye on that battle as we're starting to close in on pit stops for the next 5 to 10 laps, I would guess.
And leading lap 77 onto lap 78. DJ still out in front. The gap has grown to just over 1 second. As now DJ runs a little bit higher. And I wonder if Dominic on those fresh tires, even though he is a lap down, he might be able to come back around. I think he's actually 2 laps down. But on fresher tires, he might be able to come back around and go just 1 lap down here.
Yeah, Dominic has this pace now. Now that he's on those fresher tires, it looks like Dominic was just struggling on the worn tires there. Probably I would actually assume that he probably had some issues with those tires. Probably flat spot or something. He was like slow that whole run. Now he's picked up the pace and he's starting to close in on the leaders and see if he can get one of his laps back.
Speaking of the leaders, the gap closed tremendously on that last lap. That was about 4/10 that Among Us was able to cut out of DJ's lead. So we'll see what the gap is this time. That looks like it's stabilized a little bit, but that last lap, I think something might have happened to DJ because he lost 4/10 to the second place car.
And I think you missed it, but Among Us hit the wall while you were reporting that pace, so he's going to lose a lot of time. There it is, 2/10 lost on that lap because he hit the wall. Very costly mistake from Among Us.
Oh, it's a bad entry for DJ in the turn 1, though. But as we keep reporting on the other car, the other one makes a mistake. So DJ with a very bad entry to turn 1, and it compromises his exit. And I think Among Us is going to catch up a lot here on this lap.
Keep keep your eye on Among Us here as he hits the apron now. Let's see if he can carry the minimum speed. And is he going to hit the wall? Not quite. Very close. No, actually he did. He lost a lot of speed off the corner. Very unfortunate.
And this back and forth of mistakes is really allowing Dominic to catch up a ton on those fresh tires. I think he would have caught up anyway just on pace, but the mistakes is what's really killing these drivers out in front. If it continues like this, the race could very easily be decided by who makes the last mistake.
I feel like if you're either DJ or Among Us, you want to pit as soon as possible, considering Dominic, probably the slowest car in the field, is catching these guys tremendously because they're making so many mistakes on these worn tires. So just keep your eye on who's going to be the first one to pit between those two.
Absolutely, and they've gapped the third and fourth place cars, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pit, a lap or two from now, get an undercut on the cars in front, see if they can't gain a lot of that track position back, and maybe even jump one of the leaders, as Dominic is really closing in on the top two now.
Oh yeah, I got a major run off of turn 4. Give it maybe a lap or two, and he's going to be right on Among Us. See if he can get around him. We'll have some lap traffic that the leaders will have to deal with, and hopefully they'll just let him by. As it looks like Dominic missed entry, and he's going to hit the wall. Still has a decent run, though, because notice how on worn tires, you just don't get that exit speed.
Dominic in the number 77 Dodge car, he's really closing up to the back of Among Us. It's not a battle for position, but this could be crucial for Dominic's race. If he's able to get back to just one lap down and a caution comes out, he'll be right back in the race. As there it goes, Among Us hits the wall.
So I think, yeah, Dominic's just going to get right by around him. That's very good for Dominic right there. Notice that DJ hit the wall as well off the corner, so...
I think the drivers are going to see this and really think about coming to the pits here very soon. And is that Among Us coming in?
That is indeed Among Us coming in. Take it away, guys.
I think it's Kimmy down there ready to see Among Us.
Yeah, so here we go. This is it, the start of the green flag pit stops. The 7 crew are going to try to replace that steering column because they're having really bad handling. So we're going to get that replaced. And everybody's tires right now should be about around 35 to 37%. So they're going to get some clean, fresh 4 tires here. And they're going to get back out there with a new steering and see if we can get back up there and then fight for this lead right here. And he's off of pit road. He's going to get off pretty cleanly. And yeah, he's going to get back out there.
Alrighty, here he comes. We're going to see the blend. He's going to come out way behind both DJ and Dominic, who Dominic is now closed up to the back of DJ. So Among Us is now 1 lap down to DJ, who is in the lead and yet to pit. But crucially, he will be on much fresher tires than DJ. And now the question will be, how late can DJ stay out before he has to pit as well?
Yeah, I'd keep your eye on, see if Among Us can hit his marks with those fresher tires. Looks like he's going to get very good entry into 3 and 4. Looks like that steering column
DJ's
changed.
all over the
trick.
wall.
Oh, wow. What happened up there? Did Dominic hit him or something?
No,
Andrew?
DJ just smacked the wall by himself. He's very tight on these old tires. He's going to be losing a ton of time, and I think it might already be too late. I think Among Us is going to jump him in the pit cycle, but we're going to have to wait for DJ to come to the pits and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, just because of him smacking that wall, we now have Dominic now only 1 lap down. Managed to drive his way through traffic and got himself back only 1 lap down.
And DJ is still staying out. Among Us is about to get that lap back. We know from Among Us pit stop. Yeah, we know from Among Us pit stop that you lose more than a lap. So this could be detrimental for DJ's chances.
I mean, look at that. DJ just cannot turn on those worn tires, and Among Us is gone. With the fresh tires, DJ needs to come in as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I would be calling him in this lap, but you gotta get fresh tires on that car. He is struggling on the old tires.
Oh
And
yeah,
he's staying
he is. And
out.
he still stayed out. What is going on?
I wonder if there's some interesting strategy happening here with the 28 camp. We're gonna see if we can't get more information on what they're trying to do here. As I think Kimmy actually might have a word on what the 28 team is planning with the strategy.
Yeah, so here we go. The 28 team said they want to take the tires all the way, see how long they could go. Maybe to even to lap 100. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. But the 28 team have been trying to stay out as long as they can. They're gonna try and say, "Oh, here goes DJ is actually coming into pit." Oh, look at this.
He is coming to the pits. I think Corey is actually at the 28 box, ready to report on our pit stop.
And you see DJ comes down. Ran really late on those old tires. You saw Among Us was able to jump in from pitting early. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see how these guys work out. They said they wanted to try a two-stop strategy, so they will try and run this. They will try and run this next 10 as far as they can go to make sure that they can make it to the end of the race, because they have lost a lot of time under this current cycle. See a good entry into his pit box, not exiting as he comes off the road.
Alrighty, we're watching the blend as Among Us is going to look to get back by Dominic, and he will. So I think that puts Dominic another one lap down again. I think he was actually on the lead there for a second, but now he's one lap down. And we
Look
can
at the
hear
gap
DJ.
on the racetrack now. Look at this.
Wow, that is huge. The gap between Among Us back to DJ. It is the entire back straightaway between the two of them.
That's insane. Really just proves how important pitting early is on these tires. I mean, I was suggesting it even before Among Us pitted that you probably want to pit as soon as possible.
Aiden is in the pit box. I think Kimmy's down there with the 16.
Yeah, so here we go. Aiden's now down here. He was also complaining of some steering issues, so he's gonna get a new steering column as well. So he's on hold time. Oh, Spring is also here on pit road, gonna try to come down. And Aiden's gonna be off of his pit box now. Spring, he's on pit road. He's gonna get fresh tires. He's gonna get back out there. I don't know if he can do anything, but as long as he's gonna stay in this race, keep it clean, the leaders might wreck it, he's gonna have a chance to get on pit road. He's gonna go on pit road with fresh tires. Here we go.
Lots of time lost for a lot of these drivers. I think it might actually end up putting Spring a lap down here. As, or not quite. We're going to see because he's still in the pit lane. Among Us on the back straightaway. On the pit exit. Here comes Aiden. He's going to look to make the pass on Spring on the pit exit. This is the battle for third. Oh, and Spring comes up. He almost slides into Aiden.
Oh, wow.
What a save from Spring, but he almost took out the driver of the number 6 car.
That would have been insane if that happened. Definitely would have shuffled up the field for sure, bringing out the caution, and they kept it together. Very fortunate of Spring not to take him out there with that move.
I expect to see a battle for third heating up here in a second. Because Spring is going to have, I believe, 1 lap fresher tires than Aiden. So he's going to have a tire
DJ just binned it. DJ has binned it.
Oh,
He just lost the position. What?
and
There's a
caution is
caution
out.
on the track because of that. What has happened?
I think Race Control had said previously 2 cars would be a caution. But DJ is going so slowly, they had to call it.
That is not what happened. We have Dominic and DJ who just both crashed around the same time. I have no idea how that happened, but a 2-car crash. Both of them are apparently lag. So I'm curious to see what just happened.
And Dominic has rear end damage. He will be able to continue. That is the only rear end damage is the only damage you can have and be able to continue. However, any more damage that car incurs will be an immediate DNF from this race. And that jumbles things up as we were just finishing the green flag pit stop cycle.
Yeah, so with that, that's going to shuffle up the field again. Everyone's going to get a fresh reset on tires. The strategy, it's just all that strategy out the window. I mean, Among Us was the big winner there. He's going to be in the lead. Aiden's going to be in second. Spring in third. So DJ is going to lose all of his track position with that lag spike.
big loss there for DJ, who was actually going to have a tire advantage in that second end of that run. And we're waiting for Dominic to come around and get that lap back. So it actually will help Dominic in the sense of track position. However, with that damage, I don't know if it was worth it for him.
Yeah, so Dominic has gotten his laps back, it appears. So I would assume pits are open this time, and yes, we have gotten the word pits will be open this time. I would assume that everyone will come into pit road just for the sole reason of, yeah, we want to get fresher tires. We know how important those fresh tires now at this point, considering Among Us pulled like a 10-second gap on second because of that pit cycle pitting early there. So
yeah, and it was a few. He bit a few laps before the other cars did, and he had a huge advantage out front. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see how much DJ was able to gain after that, as he was involved in the caution. But yeah, as you say, I think we're gonna see just about everyone come in here, even the cars that had just pit, just because fresh tires mean so much here, and looks like everyone is coming down. Among Us will lead them down to Kimi.
Yeah, and everybody has now seen how the pressure tires work around here, because man, Among Us got a big lead from that. But yeah, I wanted to say something about the 7017. Yeah, something happened on a track out there, and now they have damage. I think it was a big lag spike that kind of hurt the 77's race, but now everybody getting fresher tires. They really want to be on the same tires as everybody else, because they seen how powerful it is to be on the fresher tires. To see Among Us off the pit road first.
Oh,
Very close battle as the 6, and wow, that was pretty close, but I think Among Us just barely got it.
Among Us does lead them off. I'm not sure what happened with Spring. He came off of pit road last. I think he entered in third. So a rough pit stop there for Spring. He's going to go to the back. But the entire field now on a clean slate, fresh tires, almost halfway through the race. They're going to be thinking about probably 2 pit stops to the end here.
we've got word that green flag will be this time after that pit cycle on under caution. So we're going to see more green flag racing shortly.
Here we go. Single file off of turn 4, getting ready to see the green flag for the restart after a crash that we weren't able to catch, and I don't think we were able to get a replay for it. But green flag is back out here to take lap 97 as Among Us leads them off with not an amazing restart, as Aiden's going to be looking to get the jump entering into turn 1.
I think Aiden's going to be looking for the later apex, and he's going to do that, so curious to see if he's going to carry more speed off the corner. Not quite. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to, but they're single file now, as Spring did not get a good restart if you did see that. And DJ is going to go to the inside of Aiden for second, as Aiden completely missed the inside in 3 and 4.
And there we go, side by side for second. That's DJ looking to the inside of Aiden. DJ and Among Us definitely the top 2 in that last green flag stint. And oh man, big contact, door-to-door contact on the entry to turn 1. DJ did not hit the bottom, and Aiden turned in, and there was a lot of contact in 1 and 2. And look at the gap that's allowed Among Us to pull. Still side by side for second into turn 3.
Yeah, this time DJ hits the inside, and he's going to clear Aiden for second. And now we have the top 2 cars basically throughout the entire race. 1 and 2 once again. Now the moment is DJ going to be able to close back in on Among Us with that gap that Among Us has been able to build up thanks to that battle.
Oh, and DJ hits the wall of turn 2, and further back, Spring is starting to get onto the back of Dominic. That's about to be a battle for 4th, I believe, although I think Spring actually hit the wall that last corner. And did DJ miss the bottom? Yes, he did. Here comes Aiden catching up to the back of DJ, although he didn't get as good of an exit, as we are on lap 100, about to cross over halfway in this race.
Yeah, this time DJ gets a good turn 1 and a good turn 2. He's going to slide up, get a good exit, as they're starting to single out once again on the restart now. Among Us with about a 1.2 second lead. Aiden right behind DJ by about a couple tenths now, like 2 to 3 car lengths. So then we got another gap built up as Dominic just hit the wall in 4th place. So keep your eye on the battle there. That might continue if Spring does not hit the wall and Dominic starts making more mistakes like that.
Spring is entering higher into turn 1, but he's also running higher. That's the battle for 4th. And it looks to have evened out there on the back straightaway, so Dominic keeps the spot for now. Both of these cars have fallen a good ways off of the top 3, multiple seconds behind the leader.
Well, I think DJ just hit the wall, and Aiden got a very good exit on turn 4, so we're going to be looking for a battle for 2nd. As Aiden goes on the outside, I don't think he's going to carry enough momentum to clear him. Actually, he does. Aiden is clear for 2nd.
Might have sent it a little bit too hard into that corner. DJ is coming back, and Aiden does hit the wall. So now DJ's looking to the outside after giving Aiden a bump. This battle for P2 is starting to rage, as Aiden is going to take the spot on the inside. But again, DJ with a better rotation in the middle of the corner. He's right onto the back of him. He gives him a push.
Give him a little bit of a push. So Aiden's going to build up a little bit of a sizable gap. Not enough to give him some comfort, but at least you know that you won't get sent into the corner now. But now he washes up in the corner, and DJ hits the wall, so it cancels itself out.
This is really tough for DJ. I think he feels like he's the faster car than compared to Aiden just ahead of him, and feels like he should be chasing down Among Us, but the mistakes have been costly, and Aiden running pretty good here defensively. He's keeping that 2nd spot ahead of DJ.
Notice the speed that he's going to be able to carry into turn 1 because of the moves that he's been able to make. He was like 197 off of like entering turn 1 there, so that was very good if you want to close into the leader, but it only lasts like half a lap. As Aiden actually hits the corner very well, but he needs to lift if he doesn't want to hit the wall, and he hits the wall. I think DJ did too, but not as hard, so we're going to have another battle for P2 here in just a second.
Aiden still running pretty defensively there. He covers off the outside, and now he taps the apron. Now there's contact in the middle of 1 and 2. We are on board with DJ as he looks to make a move, but has nowhere to go, and Aiden keeps P2 going down into turn 3.
Aiden is doing some masterful defense right now, able to keep the 28 of DJ right behind him. I'm not sure for long though. We'll see, but Aiden got a very good 3 and 4 magically there, so keep your eye on if he's going to be able to defend him for at least, like, if he keeps this up eventually, DJ's just going to have to be forced to just slot right behind him and just run it out. And I think that's going to be the icing on the cake right there. DJ's in the wall. Aiden got a very good 1 and 2, so I think we've just got just a little bit of a gap there for Aiden now.
And Aiden's looking to have another very strong 3 and 4, and he does. So, although it's hard to see from this camera angle, he might actually have some momentum here, just a little bit. He's not going to get to Aiden in turn 1, but he does make Aiden think about defending, so he enters a little bit lower. And I think that's a little bit of an amateur move there from Aiden. And he's getting walled.
Oh no!
And
And there's a little bit of a contact there off the corner exit, and it looks like DJ was able to get around Aiden, but he washed up, hit the wall, and then around goes DJ just on the inside for second.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear if we can get a report on if Aiden was saying anything over the radio after that incident on track, because he surely will not be very happy with DJ after he was essentially walled in turn 2, and a large amount of contact between the number 28 and the number 6 car.
Oh, Aiden's in the wall. Very big hit in the wall. I think he's lagging right now, but he is on the apron in the grass. I don't know what happened to him, but he's able to keep it going. And now we're just starting to single out here as Among Us continues to pull away from DJ. Looks like it's starting to be one of those types of races where it's just going to be a strategy game.
I think it definitely is going to turn into a strategy game. Now, we saw last stint just how powerful that undercut could be. Pitting a few laps earlier than the car in front of you could allow you to jump in track position and get ahead of them. As we might see something like that from DJ. If they do it on 2 more stops after that's caution, I would expect them to come around close to lap 130. So about 20 laps away here, but we've yet to hear word about the potential strategy options from any individual team.
Really, the strategy down all the way, just all the way down to Bones right there is just you want to pit as soon as possible compared to everyone else, just to make it to the end, just to get that undercut. That's really what's important there, because you saw what happened on that last green flag run. Among Us pit like 3-4 laps earlier, and he just pulled like a 10-second gap on the rest of the field. Kind of insane how you're able to just do that because of how insane the tire wear is in this track.
It definitely is. So another high degradation track again here. We saw something similar at Auto Club. We didn't get to see full pit stops as there were a lot of cautions in that race, but I think it would have looked something like this with high degradation, tires wearing, and lots of time lost by the end of a stint.
And now I'm just going to keep my eye on this gap now at this point. Looks like it's around the same 2.6 seconds. Notice how Among Us is pulling away now. And really, it's just 2.6 second gap to DJ, and then DJ has like a 3.4 second gap on Aiden, and then from there it just piles on up. So it's really just single file. Now it's just a strategy game. We're going to see what happens when we get to that pit cycle.
Lap 114 here. We have passed halfway. We're in the middle of a green flag run, and I think we're going to go on board here with Among Us for Plato's Perfect Pitch, brought to you by Plato's Apex Network and the number 7 on board. we return to you live now here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Sam's Town 300. Among Us is still your leader on lap 117. He has a pretty good gap, as actually something has happened to DJ and he has stopped in the middle of turn 4. What has happened to the number 28 car? He's about to go a lap down.
And now he's going right in front of Among Us. I'm very curious to see why he's doing that. I mean, he was stopped on the track, and now he's like 2 laps down. I don't know what happened to him. I think he just got frustrated and wanted to plow back in or something. I mean, he's going to be laps down now with that move, but I don't know why he'd do that. Yeah, he's a lap down. So he just stopped on the track and merged back to where he was.
Yeah, no idea what happened there with DJ, but he is now on track and where the second place would be, but he's forfeited that position, is now a lap down, all the way down in 5th. Out of the 5 cars that are running, he is the last. And now the next car will be Aiden, who I think Spring has actually been slowly reeling in. So we might see a battle for second here between the number 6 car and the number 37 car. Spring, who just this day just keeps getting better for Spring. Top 2 in the championship have crashed out, and he's going to be looking to take the championship lead here.
Yeah, it looks like Aiden hit the wall, and Spring got a very good 1 and 2, so keep your eye on this battle. Spring is actually right there now, especially if he can make the stick.
As I think,
Don't think he will, though. He carried too much speed, but he did, surprisingly. He's right on his back bumper, and he has a little bit of a run. Where does he go? Looks like to the outside he goes. Side by side for second.
looking for the move on the outside of turn 1. Spring in the number 37 Pennzoil Dodge Charger.
Oh, DJ.
What happened to... Oh, that's Dominic. Dominic just got front end damage. He's out of the race.
And caution is out because of damage on Dominic. And we just lost another driver. And he's already out of his car. I think he's going to walk back to the infield care center. He was right there on the entry to pit road. Didn't see what happened, but Dominic is now out of this race, and we are down to 4.
Man.
As I think Kimmy came on to tell us about what had happened to DJ, but then got caught up with the incident with Dominic. Kimmy, do you have any idea what was happening to DJ there that caused him to go a lap down?
Yes, I do. There was actually a big lag spike, and it actually caused him to stop on the apron off of turn 4. And I thought there was gonna be a wreck because I don't think people couldn't see for like 5 to 6 seconds there. It was kind of scary for them, but yeah. So that kind of, I think this caution helped DJ out a bit. So, well, not at least not much for the other DJ anyway.
Absolutely.
For Dominic.
And yeah, Fearless, that's very similar to what happened to you at the Iowa race in IndyCar. A big lag spike, and you end up crashing.
Yeah. But thankfully I got a video footage of that, so I ended up getting myself back in the race, and then the rest is history. I ended up winning that thing. Pretty cool.
I don't know if pits were open this time or not. I didn't quite see. I think DJ might have just caught up a little bit too late, so we're gonna wait next time around. As I think Dominic is about to be available for an interview as he gets released from the infield care center. And yep, Kimmy is down there with Dominic to speak with him.
All right, Dominic. So glad that you're pretty good from the infield care center. Could you tell us what happened there?
Well, I think it was one of the bumps on the high end there. I did kind of go in a little too fast, but my tires were just too worn out to kind of get enough grip to go down the corner, so I had to slow down, but I hit some bump and I kind of just drifted into the wall there.
Alright, well, I'm glad that you're okay from that wreck, but I hope you have a good race next week, and yeah, just take it easy, alright?
Yeah, alright, thanks.
And a word there from Dominic explaining what happened as just bumpy racetrack. the cars have been a little all over the place all day today. I mean, we've seen it all day, Fearless, and it got away from him, and he's out of the race.
Yep. His pits are open now, actually, here. So we're going to have 4 cars left in this race that are going to come down pit road. So very interesting to see these yellow flag pit stops and see who's going to come out in front. I'm curious to see if Aiden, especially since his last pit cycle, is going to be able to come out in front of Among Us as they take the hard left down into pit
Yep,
road,
everyone's
and we'll
coming.
take it to Kimmy.
Here we go, all 4 cars coming out of the pit. It's getting a little scarce there on the racetrack. But here we go down the pit road as you see Among Us, Aiden, and Spring, and they're all coming in the pit. I'm assuming, I know last time they said they wanted to do a one-stopper. I don't think they can make it from here. I think they still have to do one more stop, but as see Aiden is finally going to come down. He's going to take the very last pit stop for the very first one, if you want to see it. Yeah, he's off into his pit stall, and all 3 drivers behind him are actually out. Can he beat them off of pit road? They could be pretty close here. No, he won't. Among Us is going to get it. And there you have it.
Alrighty then, so everyone exits pit road at the same position they entered it, and everyone will have fresh tires, and the question now will be, can the drivers save and make it on one more pit stop to the end, or will they actually need 2?
Curious to see. Yeah, that is a very good question. Are they going to be able to do it on 1 stop, or will they do it on 2? Probably 1 stop. Yeah, this is a 1-stop race from here. Maybe they'll try to stay out the whole way, but doesn't look like it. That's like 78 laps.
Yeah.
So there's going to be probably 1 stop left in this race for all 4 of them.
Yeah, we're going to see 77 to go when we see the green flag. I think that's too much for a no-stopper. So, yeah, I think you're right. Probably 1 more stop to the end, but that means they'll have to make it, almost 40 laps on these sets of tires, and those tires are going to be cooked by the end of that run. And I think, again, it'll come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes. I think all 4 of these drivers have a chance to win as we're coming around to take a restart here on lap 123.
Yeah, here we go. We're off at turn 4. Single file. Among Us leading the field of green in the restart zone, and we're off. Aiden did not get a good launch. And here comes DJ. DJ has to lift because of the rule, and DJ loses 3rd to Spring. What a series of events on the restart as we dive into turn 1. And Among Us is going to hit the apron, and so does Aiden. But they're going to keep their speed up as we come off of turn 2 here.
A terrible restart for Aiden, which led to a terrible restart for DJ, and Spring is the main winner out of that besides Among Us. So Among Us keeps the lead, Aiden manages to hold on to 2nd, and Spring takes away 3rd from DJ, who actually didn't lose as much momentum as I thought he would have. So the top 4, I think 1st and 4th are the fastest cars. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on the restart as Aiden is catching up to Among Us.
Oh, Aiden might have a good run here if he throttles up the rest of the corner. He might have a big run here off of 2. Here we go. We're going to have a battle for the lead.
Here he comes, Aiden in the number 6 car, closing quickly onto the back of Among Us. He's going to dive to the inside of turn 3.
Oh,
there's contact.
Managed to keep it clean, but Among Us has a gap now, and Spring is going to look for 2nd now because of that. Aiden had to lift, and now Spring is right there. He's going to push him.
Spring gives a push to Aiden. It's not a bad strategy to try to get them both back up there to Among Us. Oh, and he actually bumps him in the middle of the corner. And now he's going to look to the inside. So mid-corner contact, he moves Aiden up off of the bottom line where all the speed is. And now Spring looking to the inside. He's going to try to take away 2nd. No, he files back in behind.
Yeah, Spring wanted to back out. I think that was a mistake on Spring's end to bump him up the racetrack because he knows Aiden is faster than him currently right now on the fresher tires, and he's just filing in to see if Aiden can catch up to Among Us and then force a mistake out of Among Us, and so then Spring can pounce on both of them.
And again, Aiden hit the apron there, and that caused them to come together, and Spring hits him as Aiden bounced off the wall, and now that's going to allow DJ to go to the outside of Aiden and take away 3rd. So from 2nd to last for Aiden, a miserable turn 2.
Yeah, that was pretty bad out of him. He hit the apron, and then he got bumped up by Spring, and then, oh, wow, DJ just hit the wall. And now Among Us is going to start pulling away yet again.
So Spring kind of struggled last stint. Now he finds himself in second. Do you think he has anything for Among Us out in front?
That's a good question, really. I really just is a matter of, can he keep his pace up and then force a mistake out of Among Us? Because it looks like he's getting decent corners right now, but not enough to keep up with Among Us. You need a mistake or two out of Among Us to compete with him, really, because he's been by far the fastest car this entire race since Karinga had that early crash out.
That's right. That crash was almost 100 laps ago, but it took out the top two in the championship as Spring smacks the wall. That's going to cause a huge loss of momentum as DJ and Aiden are both catching up very quickly into turn 3. So Among Us pulls way away, and we're about to have a three-way battle for second place.
Spring got a good exit, though, so he's probably going to start to pull away a little bit on DJ. So unless there's a mistake, Spring's going to keep position for at least a while, a little longer. Spring got another good corner there. I think DJ at the wall, too, so...
Lots of mistakes from the drivers behind. As Spring still in P2, DJ hitting the wall off of turn 2. And Among Us is capitalizing off of the mistakes of other drivers to pull away. Or actually, we're going to see, because that gap just dropped 5/10 that lap. So we didn't see Among Us, but I think there must have been a mistake in that lap.
Don't want to keep doing that, or else Spring's going to be there, because it looks like Spring has found a consistent line. 183 on exit. Look at this. Very good speed out of that 37 machine right now, so keep in mind that he is running some very good laps right now.
And Among Us is way up the track. We'll see if we can get a report on if he's still struggling with that power steering issue he had earlier in the race or not, or if it was creeping back in, but it's costing him a lot of speed as Spring is now just 7.5 behind the leader.
Oh, Spring just had an incredible entry. Look at the speed off the corner.
Oh,
184.
Among Us hits the wall. Here he comes.
Spring is on rails right now. Look at this speed.
We're looking back from Among Us. He's going to miss the bottom again. Spring is to the inside. He's not going to be able to stay there. But, man, he closed the gap in a hurry, and he is here with the battle for the lead.
Incredible pace from Spring.
Beautiful line for Spring. If he keeps it out of the wall, he does.
Oh,
he's
wow,
gonna
look
run.
at that. That is another beautiful corner. I think he's going to look to the inside. No, he goes to the outside lane.
He sold him the dummy. He got Among Us to defend into turn 3. Spring running the high line. He's going to get tied up there, though. Oh, he's going to hit the wall. Yep, that killed his momentum.
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate that he took the outside lane, because really the inside is the preferred lane 100% of the time. So he's going to have to regroup and try to catch back up as the gap's probably back up to around a second, maybe 2.
Yeah, big gap again for Among Us. Spring will have to work again to gain it back. He had worked lap after lap to close the gap to Among Us. And now he hits
Carried
the
too
wall.
much speed in the corner, hit the wall that time as well.
And there it is. It's over a second now, as he's going to have to really fight to close back up to the leader and fight for the lead once again.
Hits a wall again.
And it's getting pretty messy out there right now. These drivers, if any one of them stops making mistakes here in this part of the stint, Spring on the apron, Among Us running wide, I think any driver that stops making mistakes at this point in the race will pull away, as we see a big run from DJ. He's going to go to the
Spring's
inside.
Give him the line. I thought he should have blocked that one. So now he's just dropped back to third. pretty unfortunate for Spring. He was probably the fastest car for a good 5 laps there.
Oh, and he's going to get into the back of DJ. They both bounce off the wall a little bit, but I think the push is still going to give DJ a bit of a run, as they're going to look to chase after Among Us, who I think has also had some struggles. Again, Spring hits the apron in turn 3.
Probably, yeah, he lifted a bit just to keep him off the wall, but again, it hits the apron. I think he's turning in too early now. That's a mistake you don't want to keep making, because then your minimum speed is down the drain and you're losing all your momentum.
Up front, here comes DJ. He's looking for a move on Among Us. The top 3 have really closed up here. We saw Among Us running the high side in the tri-oval. I'm not too sure what that's about, but it's allowed DJ to close right up to the back of the number 7 car.
Oh, and I think Spring just got a really good corner again, but he lifted. Probably didn't even need a lift there. They're around equal speed on exit. Keep your eye on the battle for the lead. DJ right behind Among Us, and Among Us goes wide on the tri-oval yet again, giving him enough room just to give him right to the back bumper as we're down to 1. Oh, what an entry by Spring. He's carrying too much speed, though. He's going to hit the wall for sure, unless he lifts, and he doesn't lift. DJ's in the wall. They're bumper to bumper to bumper.
So
Big battle for the lead.
Everyone hit the wall of turn 2, it looks like. Oh, DJ with a mistake. A very nice
Spring's
setup
gonna
from Spring.
take that.
Yep. There he goes.
Oh, he put him in the wall, I think, right there.
It was really tight. It was hard to see from that camera angle, but I think Spring was capitalizing on the mistake of DJ, and there might have been some contact on the exit. But Spring does come away with 2nd place and is looking like a really good 1 and 2 to fight Among Us for the lead.
And then right as you say that, he hits the apron again. So all the momentum down the drain. Gonna have to regroup, see if you can build it back up again and get right back to Among Us. Looks like he's gonna be able to do just that, get back to around 180 on exit. And as we look at the gap now, is around 4 tenths, maybe 5. 4 tenths. Spring hits the apron again. Again, these are mistakes you do not want to make if you want to win this race.
I think we have
As
some.
Among Us,
I think we have a word from Corey about what Among Us is saying over the radio in regards to their strategy on this last stint.
Yes. When it was back at the green flag, the strategy for the 7 teams so far is that the gloves are off. They do not know what they want to do yet. They're just going to run until as they run, they're going to check what they want to do, what the strategy will be. You know, most people look for that one stop. Aiden speaks otherwise. He's going to run, see how far he can get, if they can make it to the end of the race, which is a high probably not, but they will try and see what they can do. DJ's 100% on the one stop, so we might be seeing a one stopper for the rest of this race as they next year.
Alrighty, and a big moment for Spring there as we were getting the report. A great report from Corey there. Spring with an issue. I think he bounced off the wall in turn 2, I think it was. Lost both the spot to DJ and the spot to Aiden, so he's dropped back to 4th. As Aiden takes away 3rd, and DJ will set his sights on the leader, see if he can't chase down Among Us, who has made his statement. The gloves are off. What do you think of that, Fearless? As I think we might have some mic problems up here with my co-commentator Fearless. But
oh no, that was my fault. I turned off my mic for a second there. Oops. Anyways, I was gonna mention that interesting comment, but continues to lead the race with DJ around 1 second behind, and they've singled it out again. Spring probably, yeah, really that mistake from Spring was costly, and now he's in last. But keep your eye on DJ. That's really the main contender to Among Us' lead.
And we've seen this story before. Among Us leading, DJ trying to chase him down. It looks clean right now, but when they get on old tires and are really thinking about pitting, it's going to be really hard to keep these cars off of the walls just like that. DJ smacks the wall from turn 2, and that's going to cost him a bunch of momentum to the cars behind. Aiden just in front of Spring.
Yeah, and notice, yeah, Spring also did hit the wall on the backstretch earlier there too. So, and I think he just hit it again there as well. So, really not. I think my perception of Spring's pace is very good on the short runs, and then it just fades on the long runs. Like, he can't really adjust to the tire wear.
Well, we've got a battle here for third. Aiden entered on the bottom. He's gonna keep it out of the wall after some contact with Spring from behind. Very much looked like a road course style move where you park it on the apex, but we saw it here in the higher banks of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As the battle for third rages on, and the gap between first and second has closed significantly up until that corner where DJ, I believe, had a mistake.
Yeah, I think the gap started to widen a bit as there continues to be a battle for third. Spring right on the back bumper Aiden. He's going to push him up the track. Aiden gets a run though, so he's going to still be clear of Spring for third. And it looks like Among Us continues to pull away.
We're going to keep a battle on the an eye on the battle for third as Aiden just ahead of Spring, but Spring with a very good exit off of turn 4. Does Spring make a move here? No, he's going to push Aiden on the front straight away.
Tactical move by Spring. It looks like he wants Aiden to catch up to DJ. I think he wants the maximum amount of points possible.
And look at this.
Look at this. Look at that exit too. Amazing corner from Spring again.
Some
Looks
good
like he's
teamwork
finally been
here.
able to adjust to that tire wear.
Absolutely. We're seeing Spring try to hit a later apex and get the momentum off the corner. And if he's able to do that, he gets a good run and is able to push Aiden. It's not going to happen this time, but if they keep that up, they can catch up to the leader, as they have already caught up right to the back of the second place car of DJ.
Yeah, it looks like Spring got a very good apex. He's going to go to the outside of Aiden. This is going to be for third. I think Spring's got him. Yeah, he does. Spring has got him for third. What a move. As Among Us hit the wall, actually, too. So keep your eye on that gap.
I think you said it best, Fearless. Spring is getting a handle of the handling of this car. And on older tires. And what's the gap going to be? Yeah, 1.1 to DJ. Even more significantly in my mind, 1.3 to Spring, who's making a comeback in the later stages of this stint.
I mean, look at this, right next to the wall on an exit. Got a run on DJ. I'm sure he's going to push him if he gets there. Yeah, he is. He's going to give him a little bit of a run. And then he goes to the inside as DJ missed the entry. Spring lifts and hits the apex perfectly, so got maximum speed there. As we're going to get a report from Kimmy here shortly.
I think we have just sent him to go figure out what the tire wear is for these drivers, as Spring all over the back of DJ. They're off of turn 2. What a exit. He is closing slowly to the back of the number 28 machine. He's not going to take the run. He's going to push him on the entry. And that's going to make the 28 car go wide in 3 and 4, but still has good minimum speed.
Yeah, I think Spring wants to try to get around DJ at this point. He's losing speed in 3 and 4 because of that. And now it's down. Now the gap's widened back up to around a second and a half. That's really not what you wanted to see if you want to see a complete battle here. But good exit again for Spring. Closing, probably going to close back in on DJ. But DJ looks like it got a pretty good exit too, so the gap has stagnated.
Here comes Spring. He's running lower in 3 and 4, but he's not taking all the exit, and that allows DJ to still get momentum off of the top side in turn 4. That's what this is really hurting, though, is their gap to Among Us. Among Us is able to pull away with Spring not taking the exit and DJ not hitting the bottom.
Yeah, it's really, that gap is not what you want to see if you're those two, because really then you know that Among Us is driving better than you, and you know that, so you're trying to hit it better, then you end up making mistakes.
Alrighty, and I think we've got Kimmy with a report on Among Us and also some strategy.
Alright, so it looks like we got some interesting things being said in the driver BC. Among Us was saying catching me is one thing, passing me is another. So I'm assuming he feel like he's the king right now. He's gonna try to rile up the other people in the who are also in the race trying to catch him. And people are also kind of secretive about the tires, so we could see some scheming going on back here about what tire strategies people are going to be on. So be on the lookout for people maybe even coming in pretty soon, or hey, you might see people coming out try to go all the way. So yeah, be on the lookout for that.
Alrighty, thank you much for that report, Kimmy. As we see a battle for second place, Spring is looking to take away second from DJ. A bad entry for DJ. Spring leaves him space. They're side by side down the back straightaway and into turn 3.
Yeah, that's right. Spring on the inside managed to get a good corner. Spring, oh wow, he hit the apex perfectly. If he could carry the speed, he's got him. Or he's gonna block him, got the block off. Spring to second.
A good block there from Spring. It was a little late, but he got it done. Didn't turn himself. He's going to have momentum. I think we saw some tire smoke up ahead from Among Us. That usually means that the driver is bounced off the wall. But now Spring is in the wall, and that's killed his run.
In the wall. Yeah, his momentum has been killed because he completely missed the inside lane in 1 and 2. So,
yep, that turn 1 and 2 is going to crush his dreams, as he was going to look to come back and fight for the lead. Now that rests on the shoulders of DJ. Can he catch up to Among Us here? As we are starting to think about, our driver's going to make a pit stop. Does the driver think they can save to the end? As the teams are starting to get more secretive about the tire wear, not wanting to show their hand.
yeah, they're really trying to figure it out at this point, what they're doing with their strategy. Yeah, cautions are up to race control now. Field very small. You've seen on the top right corner, it looked like. So with these 4 cars, it's probably just going to be single car spins at this point for cautions, considering the field size is very small. But with them being very secretive on their strategy, I think that is a very good idea if you're Among Us, because if you try to reveal some of that stuff, people are going to like pit earlier than you and maybe try to get that gap back.
Definitely so. So all the drivers keeping their cards close to their chest here, not wanting to reveal what lap they might be pitting, or if they're pitting at all, or even what their tire levels are on. As DJ is gonna be looking to put together a clean 43 laps here, and I think if he can do
All
that.
right, excuse me for a second here. Sorry to interrupt, but Aiden is pitting. Take it away, guys. I'm looking at Corey here.
See, Aiden comes down on pit road. Very earliest stop of all the drivers. Bit of a strategy change. Was estimated to be a bit later, but he's gonna come down early, and he's gonna shock the rest of the field because nobody saw him coming down this early. See, good entry onto his stop. Anybody else coming down? No, so he's actually gonna probably go a lap down here. He's ready to get off pit road. Good exit off of his box, and he's going to leave now. As he gets off his box, good exit, and he's going to come out behind all the drivers a lap down.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Corey. We see Aiden exiting the pit lane straight onto the track, and he is in fourth, 1 lap down, but fresher tires and everyone else has to pit. The question will be, how much track position can he gain by pulling off this undercut?
That's going to be very interesting, especially if they continue to stay out on the racetrack, considering Aiden is probably already faster than them, considering how long they've been on this one, probably like 25, 30 laps. So, but I would like to mention that the end of this race for Aiden is going to be very hard. It's going to be very difficult for him to make 43 laps around here with one pair of tires. So, it'll be interesting. As we got another guy pitting. That's going to be DJ, who's going to be pitting this time. DJ is going to be pitting here. Keep your eye on that.
Alrighty, I think Kimmy is down there ready to report on DJ's pit stop.
Yeah, so as you can see, DJ is coming in now. Both Aiden and DJ, they have made some pretty interesting calls to come in this early. I don't know if that's going to be the right strategy call, because they have to do 38 laps on those tires. So Among Us could both Among Us and Spring could be in the prior position as they're gonna try to go longer. Cause I don't know if they can make it 40 plus laps on those tires. It's gonna be a pretty grueling run for them. So it'll be pretty interesting.
Alrighty, we are waiting to see the blend here. DJ's coming out onto the track as Aiden has unlapped himself from Spring, and I think DJ's going to come out ahead of Aiden, but I think Aiden gained a lot of ground on the 28 car by pitting earlier. So as Kimmy mentioned, splitting this last run in half would have had you pit with 38 laps to go, so a little bit early for these guys trying to do the undercut. And honestly, I like this move. What do you think about it, Fearless?
So I'm just gonna stop you right there. We just missed it. Among Us, the leader, went into pit road.
Oh.
He's coming out of pits. We completely missed it. But Among Us into pit road. He's gonna be ahead of DJ by about a couple seconds. So now it's a matter of when Spring's gonna pit. He's in pits now too. Spring is in pits. Go ahead, Kimmy.
All right, now Spring is now down here on pit road. It's gonna be interesting to see what he can do, but I think it's now about what, 38, 39 laps. So he's actually in the clear to split this whole run in half. Now it's 38, but yeah, Spring is in position for this to work out. I don't know, unless there's a caution. This is gonna be pretty interesting to see at the end of this run because they're gonna be on very old tires at the end of this race. So yeah, he's back behind Aiden now. Pit road.
So he comes out, blends into 4th place. However, he will have the freshest tires for the next 38 laps. So if Spring can run mistake-free, he honestly might still have a shot at this race, despite the ginormous gap up to Among Us, who is out in front after a clean pit stop cycle for him.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. I mean, Spring will have probably like 1 lap pressure tires compared to Among Us, and 4 lap pressure tires compared to second and third. So very interesting to see if we're going to see Spring get a second place finish at the very least, as he gets another very good. Yeah, we're going to see Spring run very, very well. As I mentioned previously, he's very good on the short run. In the long run, he's still kind of getting used to it, but very good on the short run. So
He has a very bad 3 and 4 right there.
yeah,
That is-
he completely missed the apex there.
That is not what you want if you're going to try to catch up and make a pass for the lead. That's going to cost him time, even though he's on fresher tires.
I want to see how quick Aiden is compared to DJ, because Aiden bit like 2 laps before DJ did, so
Yeah.
Aiden hit he's gonna hit the wall, looks like, unless he lifts, which he did. So we're gonna see he's like 184, 185, and now Aiden is, no, that's Aiden right there. And then DJ's 190 right now. So yeah, it's like a 3 to 4 mile an hour difference between the two already, and it's just like 2 laps.
Yeah, but I think they're both struggling a little bit. Look at the gap up to the leader. Among Us is now 3 seconds ahead of the next closest car of DJ. So Among Us setting the pace here and controlling this race from the front. And he's going to look to cruise for the next 35 laps and win the race.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. Among Us is definitely the fastest car, so unless he starts to make very big mistakes and hits the wall for like 3 laps straight, I don't think it's happening. But the battle for second is still going to be close between all 3 of them, because Spring's on the fresher tires, but DJ and Aiden have the track position. So we'll see who's going to prevail on their strategies.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it all race, and now it is showtime. And the key is going to be mistakes. Spring smacks the wall back there again, and I'm kind of losing faith in that strategy. I think he's put pressure on himself after pitting later and is now pushing too hard and hitting the wall, because that's going to cost him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially it doesn't help when you have people in the chat are like, I mean, come on now, why are you hitting the wall like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, Spring needs needs to just focus on the road, hit his marks. So there, you just did it right there. So if you keep doing that and you focus, that's just really what you need to do. As up to P2, we have DJ now with about a 1 second gap on Aiden. Aiden's starting to fade now with those more worn out tires. So interesting to see.
Yeah, Aiden was the first to pit there. DJ was the second, and then it was Among Us. I want to say like a lap later, but DJ running cleaner right now, even though he's on a lap older tires. He's gained a couple of tenths in the last few laps. We'll see what it is this time. Oh, and there must have been a mistake or something because he lost all that time and more.
Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I think DJ can have the pace to stay with Among Us and even catch up to him if he nails his corners. But again, it's all about the mistakes, and you've got to run clean for 30 laps if you want to have a chance to run down the leader and make a pass for the win.
That's pretty much how it is. And I think DJ just missed the bottom. So if Aiden might actually be able to compete with DJ if Aiden can keep it in the bottom like that. As the gap between the two of them is now around 9/10 of a second. So again, I've probably said this too many times. Keep your eye between that gap between the two of them, DJ and Aiden. That's basically very important for the standings.
Absolutely. The standings, we've said it a couple of times. It looks like Spring's going to take the advantage, even though he's running last on track right now, as actually you see Aiden smack the wall for turn 4. But the top two have crashed out. Spring was in third in the championship. He had no pressure behind. So Spring's going to look to take advantage off of a DNF from those two drivers in front of him. And this is going to bode very well for Spring's chances at a championship here.
It absolutely will. I mean, especially with top two in points, essentially crashing out in the early stages. I mean, Karinga does get that lap lead points. So that's going to help him a bit, but not so much for, I think that was Lewis, right? That got caught up in that in DNF as well.
Yes.
He never led a lap, so he's not going to get those bonus points. So he's just going to, yeah, that was a horrible points day for him. So very unfortunate for him. And then Spring absolutely is going to take the points lead after this race.
Absolutely. I believe DJ was the only other driver. He currently sits 16th in points. However, I think he's like 7th or so out of the active drivers in the Cup Series. And he's going to jump up to probably about 4th after this, as he's putting on a pretty good performance here today, sitting in 2nd place with 26 laps to go, and he's going to be looking for a good points day here today. And let me check on...
Oh yeah, he is. I mean, led some laps, going to finish 2nd. That's
Absolutely.
a very good one.
And you were dead on with a battle between DJ and Aiden. Both of them have led laps. I think Among Us by now has pretty much locked up the most laps led points. But DJ and Aiden are currently tied on points.
Oh wow, that's insane.
They are both on 135 points, so whoever can prevail in that battle for 2nd is actually going to come away with being ahead of the other one in the championship. As we are on 25 laps to go now, and I think Corey Wilson's going to have some words about the tires.
Yeah, just down here in the pits, focus on with the pit crew, especially with Aiden's pit crew. They were the earliest to pit in the cycle. Pit with 38 to go. I mean, the pit with 43 laps to go, excuse me. That was really early, so they're gonna be really bad on the end of this race. They're gonna be really bad at the end of this race because they were the earliest to pit. You see, he just smacked the wall off too there. DJ did come down a lap earlier than Among Us, which was the race leader, but he also is gaining at the current moment. At the end of this race, these guys are gonna be pressured on tires, trying to run as clean as they can. It's gonna be consistency that's gonna bring them to the end of the race, one in front of the other. But we're gonna have to see how these tires come down as DJ is on his way to first place.
Yep, as you're talking, DJ is making big inroads, and as I talk about him, Broadcaster's Curse makes him hit the apron. So an invisible force.
Oh no!
My invisible force caused by Agent JF forces DJ onto the apron and ruins his corner. So with 23 laps to go, that's gonna hurt DJ.
Yeah,
He's
watch
gonna
this.
hit the wall.
He did.
Oh, he stays
He
out of it.
almost hit the wall there now too.
Man, we better switch off DJ if we want to battle, because that gap has opened up about a 10th after a rough
All right,
lap.
let's talk about Spring now. Let's see that gap to third. So we got Spring, good corner. Looks like, yeah, that's a pretty good corner. Keep the he might actually catch up to Aiden here if he keeps that up, because Aiden's up on by far the most worn tires out of everyone else. So while DJ is trying to get to the lead, I want to keep your eye on that battle for potentially third as well. But I think Aiden just hit the wall and Spring got a really good corner, so this is going to be close probably towards the end of it. In order to shift gears and talk about the battle for the lead again, Agent.
Yeah, it's almost on the verge of being in a battle as DJ is trying to run him down. There was a mistake at the last lap, so he's going to need to gather his momentum back up. It dropped down to about 2.2 seconds between first and second. Now it's back to 2.8. We'll see what it is again at the line. DJ crosses, it's 2.9 now. So as the laps tick down, 20 to go, it's going to become harder and harder for DJ to get into a window where he can fight with Among Us for the win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, you want to gain like 0.2 of a second every single lap. Like, it's crazy how much he's going to have to make up at this point. Like, 0.2 is very hard to come by when
definitely
racing,
is.
if you think about it. So,
especially on these ovals where it's so tight. I mean, Among Us just nipped him for pole. DJ does get a 10th that lap, but like you said, he needs more than that. He needs at least 1.5 tenths a lap if he's going to get there by the end.
yeah. I think, did Among Us just hit the wall up there? I'm not too sure. But
I'm not super sure.
you
I
got-
didn't see it.
yeah, but either way, DJ is missing the apex now. I mean, he just missed the inside again. Still a decent exit though, so probably gonna lose some time here this lap. That was not a very good lap. Yeah.
Oh, a big loss.
Oh, now you wanna, let's think about it here. Yeah, almost 0.2 of a second now you want to gain every single lap, and I think he just lost even more time by
Well, I
braking
think
in the middle of the corner.
Among Us might have just tapped the wall in the exit though. So again, the tires are degrading. It's a long run to the end. Among Us is very wide in 3 and 4. If DJ can put together the laps and stay consistent, he can get there. It's a scruffy lap for Among Us. We're going to see what the gap is as DJ comes to cross the line. And yeah, it was about almost all that time gained right back for after the very rough lap for Among Us.
Very fortunate of DJ to get that break, but he needs to pick up the pace again if he wants to catch up to Among Us. Now I'm gonna take a look now and see. Yeah, I'd say it's around the same gap between Aiden and Spring as well. So we're just seeing like really just a stalemate on the racetrack. You try to catch and then you make a mistake and then you lose all the time and then someone else makes a mistake. So
And I think at this point, 16 to go. Next time around, it'll be 15. That gap is still over 3 seconds. Among Us is going to be looking to take it down a notch. He can afford to lose a 10th a lap now because DJ needs 2/10 a lap to be able to get to him. So You know, if I'm Among Us, I'm backing it down a little bit, and he's not using all the exit there, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he's doing.
Among Us is still going to pull away, too. He got a decent exit. Now it's 3.6 seconds. Ooh. Yeah, time's running out for DJ. If he wants to pick up the pace, it has to be now. It's got to be now, and I think he just got a good corner. Just keep doing that, and you'll have a shot at it, but I don't think it's too late now at this point. We're in the closing stages of this race. 15 laps to go. Among Us with a 3.6 second gap on DJ, and then DJ with like a 4 second. Oh, hold up. Actually, I want to shift gears. There's a battle for third now on the racetrack. Spring has caught up to Aiden.
Here we go then. Aiden and Spring both kind of running the apron. That's been banned for about 100 laps now. As Aiden's still ahead of Spring, but Spring on much fresher tires. I think the offset's about 5 laps here on the tires between these two cars. And look at how much more turning Spring has over Aiden.
Oh yeah, look at that. This is going to be an incredible battle for the last 14 laps of the race. This is really what we've got to be focusing on now towards the end. Spring got a very good corner. If he could carry the speed, he's going to have a shot at it. Oh, just hit the wall at the end. That's unfortunate. That was going to be really close, and he just barely hit the wall. So now he's got to regroup, get that speed back, and catch back up to Aiden for another shot at it.
He's got the fresher tires, though. I don't think he'll have a problem getting the speed back, but it's going to be about having a good run when you're tucked up right behind that car. It's so hard to stay off the wall and keep your momentum when visually you have a car right in front of you. As he's looking to set it up again here off of turn 4, a little bit higher on the exit. And he does actually lose some momentum that time, I think.
Yeah, Aiden got a good corner there, so he's going to pull away a little bit on Spring. So once again, just got to regroup, try to catch back up. Very much is possible. Spring is on the fresher tires. Aiden actually got a very good corner there, so Aiden's going to continue to pull away if he doesn't hit the wall here, and he doesn't. So now, as I said that, Spring got the run. He gets fresher tires and all.
Aiden seems to be a little bit more consistent at this point, but 5 laps older tires, it's hurting him. Now remember, earlier in the cycle,
Spring's got his
Spring
chance.
hits him.
There he goes to the inside for third. Look at this. To the inside, he's clear. Spring up to third.
So Spring gets that move done. He's able to take away third spot. And Aiden is now down to 4th, and now he hits the wall. So that consistency waning now that he's fallen into last place with just 11 laps to go here. As Spring is going to look to pull away on those fresher tires. If DJ makes more mistakes, Spring might have a shot at P2 here.
Oh, that is true. Let's see the gap. We got 5.3 seconds to 8.7. Yeah, it's like 3.4 seconds. I mean, it's not impossible, but you gotta gain like 0.4 of a second each and every lap. Which, if Spring can get corners like that, this is gonna be incredible. If he keeps it off, you know, he hit the wall,
he does hit the wall.
But yeah, you just need mistakes from DJ at this point now.
You definitely do.
If you want to have a shot at it.
Now, I think we've seen some from him. That gap to Among Us has opened up to over 5 seconds. So, yeah, 5.1 seconds.
5.1 seconds now is the cap.
And still 3.4 between them. So, a Spring might have a chance at the end of this race if a couple more mistakes happen from DJ, but Spring can't make the same mistakes.
Which Spring actually did just make a mistake. He got minimum speed of 171, so that's not very good. You need to kick that up a notch if you want to have a shot at this. But he is still pulling away from Aiden, so Aiden is not a concern for him anymore.
Oh, DJ hit the wall off of turn 4. That could be
Spring
an opportunity
did not
for
repeat
Spring.
that mistake. That's very important. I don't think he has the time anymore, though. 8 laps to go. The gap's actually widened now to 3.6 seconds. So unless a miracle happens.
Yeah, it's not looking great. He's going to need almost half a second a lap. And
yeah.
I don't think that's going to be possible even with the tire advantage, unless there's a huge mistake from DJ.
Yeah, you just need a mistake at this point. But either way, really at this point. It's called all singled out with 7 laps to go. I like to mention how good Among Us has been this entire race. He's led probably by far the majority of it, probably like 150 laps out of the 200. Had a little bit of a battle with DJ on the first long run of the race, but other than that, he has been gone. Really the fastest car all day long, and it looks like, unless there's another caution, he's going to be the one to take the checkered flag here in first position.
Definitely seems that way. As we see 6 laps to go, the gap just under 5 seconds now, but I don't think DJ's going to catch up a second a lap to get there in time.
Yeah, it's too late now. You had your chance and you just couldn't catch up in time. So, and actually, especially since Among Us was pulling away there too. So, but either way, very good for Spring to manage to get past Aiden there at the end. That's going to help his position in the points. Really, at this point, mistakes don't even matter anymore. With 5 laps to go, the gap between DJ and Spring now about 3 seconds still.
Right
so
on 3 seconds. I think
so
these
at this
drivers,
point,
yeah, I think they're gonna go into the mode of just bring it home, no more big mistakes. Take what you've got.
you ran the race, you got your spots. Now this is a good long run to the end though. It was about 90 lap run. I think that was a good run, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We had what was it? It was 78 to go on that restart. So we've seen a 78 lap green flag run. If we see it through to the finish, the drivers all split it up with just one stop in the middle. And the driver that pit first was Aiden. He's come out and ended up last. But I think it honestly might have been worth it. He was able to get up there, fight with Spring for a little while, and really get himself in the mix in the battle for third. Because otherwise, I think he was pretty far off the back of Spring. As we see 3 laps to go, Among Us is the leader. The gap between DJ and Spring is 2.3. It's closing quickly, but I don't think there's enough unless there's a huge mistake from DJ.
Spring actually has pace in the car now. It's been far too late, though. I think he's good very late in the run, very early in the run, it looks like. But that doesn't matter right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be too much for him to catch up to DJ. As Among Us crosses the line, takes 2 laps to go. The next time by, he will see the white flag.
And then from there, the race is official.
Absolutely.
The next flag will end the race. He just needs to see that white flag. If he sees the white flag, he knows he's won the race, basically.
Yeah, that's what
So
he's
here we
looking
go.
for. Through 3 and 4.
Here we are.
Spring
Among Us
is not
off
going
a
to have
turn
time.
4. Yeah, he's not going to have enough time off of turn 4. Among Us takes the white flag with about a probably 6-second lead now. Very, very good race from Among Us. This is the type of stuff that you want to expect from him, considering all of his experience that he's had throughout the history of Bubbles Leagues and such. So, very good showing from Among Us. Made mistakes here and there, but managed to fight back and built the 6-second lead here at the end. As we go into turns 3 and 4 for the final time, you see Among Us getting still a decent corner, as he always has been the whole race. But here we are off of turn 4. Among Us takes the checkered flag. He'll be your winner here at the Sam's Town 300 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
As we look back, DJ crosses the line, followed by Spring. DJ extended the gap on that last lap, and Aiden will come across the line. All of the cars still running have finished the race. Among Us wins. DJ brings it home in second. He will break the tie with Aiden in the championship. And Spring has become the only driver to start and finish all 3 races so far in Bubbles Cup. So Spring will be looking to be in a very, very good spot in the championship, as Early Drama calls probably the fastest car to crash out, and Among Us with a dominant performance since then.
good race all around. Among Us takes the checkered flag, wins the race. Very good showing between everyone. Sure, there were a couple wrecks early on, but mostly a good green flag run throughout the whole thing. So Bubbles move to exclude some of those IndyCar drivers is definitely the move there for him. As we're going to have some interviews here shortly.
And yep, Among Us doing his Polish victory lap. Always very nice to see. As Fearless is going to have to go. Big thank you to Fearless. Always a great contribution up here in the booth. As we watch the number 7 car celebrate. And we might actually get an interview from the second place finisher, DJ, while the 7 car celebrates. Kimmy is down there with the number 28 car.
All right, just walking towards DJ right now so we get up to this door to see what he's like. All right, oh, here we go. So how you doing, DJ? That was a pretty good race from you. I saw you were catching them like under about 30 to go there. Something happened to you though. Like, what happened, man? Like, what's going on? What's going through your mind, man? Like, what's happened to you?
Kind of realized that, you know, it's one thing to pass, it's another thing to catch. So even if I caught him, I still would have had to pass him, and my fingers hurt. I'm pretty tired, so I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna get second and call it a day. And yeah, I kind of used that mentality for the past 30 laps, and yeah, it worked out, so I can't really complain.
All right.
Alrighty, great to hear from DJ there. Comes away with a P2, and will break the tie with Aiden in the championship. So DJ was likely going to move up to about 4th in the standings after the IndyCar drivers have been barred from participating. So congratulations on your 2nd place, DJ, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
As the 7 car is still headed over to victory lane. We're gonna see if we can't get another interview first. It'll be the 3rd place finisher, the number 37 car of Spring. I think Corey's down there with him for an interview.
Hello? Yeah, over here with Spring. Had a very up and down race, you know, had a lot of mistakes, you know, catching 2nd place at the end of that race, just couldn't get to him. How do you feel right now?
Pretty fine. It was a good day. Our best finish yet this season. Good points day, I think. I think I'll be leading the standings after this. If I had like 5 or so more laps, I might have caught 2nd place, but it was a good race. Had fun with the 4 guys remaining.
All right, that's good for you. Good race out there today.
Thank you.
All right, and great to hear from Spring there. He's gonna look to capitalize next week on the momentum earned from today as the top 2 had crashed out. As I think we are going to have a word with our winner, the driver of the number 7 car, Among Us, and Corey has already zoomed his way over to the victory lane to have a word with Among Us.
Yeah, Among Us, bro. You were dominant today. I mean, went out there, led a bunch of laps, grabbed the pole too. How do you feel today after completing your points lap?
I'm gonna be so honest. I probably wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't for Karinga stepping on his dick. We did it though. Car was pretty consistent. I mean, there's a few hiccups. I knew what I had, so just kind of happy. Win number 1's always the best one. So on to next week, hopefully. That's about it.
Good job there. Good job. Celebrate.
Yay.
Alrighty, and there's your very ecstatic Among Us on the win, but still pretty pragmatic actually, as you can see, as you heard, as Karinga crashed out, and Among Us realizing that he was able to take advantage of that We are going to speak to our 4th place finisher of Aiden. I think Kimmy is down there ready to ask him about that strategy choice at the end.
Yeah, so Aiden, that was actually a pretty interesting strategy choice for me. I wanted to know what was going through your mind when you made that choice, and how did you think it was going to make the difference in this race?
All right, so I knew at like lap 1, after the last caution came out and after the restart, as soon as I got passed by Spring, I think it was, I knew I needed an undercut to at least have a chance to win. So I was like, all right, I need to pit at like lap 160 to 165 around there to at least get a chance to win. And it kind of worked. I made up one position during green flag pit stops, but obviously it didn't work out as I intended. I think I should have probably pitted a little later, but it just didn't work out for us. It just didn't work out for us in the end. But on to Tennessee next week, I think.
Absolutely. So, very good actually to finish 4th after a wild race, and good job today. Best of luck next week.
All right, appreciate you.
Alrighty, and that was Aiden. It was willing to try some stuff on the strategy, as which you really love to see, honestly. Someone that's willing to go out on a limb on the strategy. He ended up not really gaining because of it, but he was in 4th anyways. And there was nothing to lose, and I think he really gave this race an interesting twist. But anyways, I think that is going to wrap it up for us here at Las Vegas for the Sam's Town 300. It was a interesting race, comers and goers, lots of mistakes. I think the most consistent driver ended up winning at the end, and also the one with the cleanest strategy. So a big congratulations to Among Us, as we're going to look forward to next week for the Scott's Turf Builder 300, the 4th round of Bubbles Cup, as I believe Spring will take the championship lead, but make sure to check in next week, Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Plato's Apex Network on Bubble the Wonder Boys YouTube channel, as we will be back again for another race. And, yep, that is going to wrap it up for us here today from Las Vegas. And we will see you all next time.